Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing well. Hi, Anna. Hi, Papa. It's very quiet here today. Quiet. It's a quiet, lazy day for me. I know most of my days are kind of lazy, but today is more lazy because I was in the chair for quite a while yesterday and I hurt today. So you're not doing too much, but I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, Steven. How are you? Yeah, it is, Papa. Well, my mom came over yesterday morning. It's also very overcast and gloomy here, so it's a good day for me to sleep. I sleep better when it's gloomy outside, or rainy, or whatever. My mom came over yesterday, and I always feel bad because I'll say we cleaned, but I really didn't do all that much because the reason she comes and helps me is because she's doing the stuff that I can't really do. Um, and she did have to take it easy. She is feeling a lot better from her bout with COVID, but she gets tired out and winded very easily. So I kept making her sit down, and she's like, "Well, all I'm doing is sitting down." I'm like, "That's fine." I'm like, "I don't care," you know. Um, and she got a load of my laundry done. Um, so I finally have clean clothes. I'm so excited. All my ace wraps got washed, so I feel like a mummy though because I've got my right arm wrapped from my tendonitis because I can't find the pressure cuff, and then of course I wrap my legs, so I'm starting to feel like a mummy. Um, so she got a little laundry done, and she tackled the corner in the kitchen that has been collecting Walmart bags and plastic shopping bags since we moved in here. Issa never checked the bags, so every time I would go to grab a bag out of that corner to use it for something, which is why you save them, there would be a hole in it, and I got so frustrated that I finally just stopped reaching for the bag. So the pile of bags and bags and bags and all that was probably about 3.5 feet high, shoved in a 1 foot by 2 foot area. For some reason, there were air filters, dirty ones stacked up over there. I'm like, the purpose of changing the filter in your air filter is to get all the crap out, and yet it was stacked up in my kitchen. Should not have been. Just general stuff like that. And that space was next to the back door and the baker's rack that my microwave and my dry goods food's on, where I can reach it. So now that whole little corner looks so much more open and bright because all that crap is out of there and there's nothing underneath the baker's rack anymore. And she was just like, "Do you want to keep this? Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Just toss everything." I'm like, "We're douching." I'm like, "Just toss it. It's going out in the trash." So, yep, got all that crap out. And so she's taking today off too. She's gonna try and come over tomorrow. I don't know, either tomorrow or Friday. But because there's still another wall that we have to go through in the kitchen. If we could get my son's fryer out of here, but we don't have anything to put the oil in, and you can't just dump that oil anywhere. It's gross fryer oil. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's in the way, the fryer. And he was supposed to have tossed that a long time ago, but when he moved, and he didn't. But I think she also wants to start packing up his stuff. I've got like 4 or 5 boxes out there that we can pack up his crap in, things like that. The kennel should be here by the end of the week. Woohoo! So excited. Dogs are going to be so happy to be able to go outside again. A little bit of controversial news. I got an email from the shelter, and they made me an appointment for me to surrender her after telling me they couldn't. They made the appointment. So I had resigned myself to keeping her and going through a more difficult process, taking care of the 2 dogs. and then got an email saying that she had an appointment. I actually hesitated in responding to the email and thanking her, and because I was like, you know what, I'd already made up my mind how I was going to deal with it, and I can't do it. There's a reason the appointment came through, and it's we don't have an old jar or plastic bottle. I know what to do. I know how to get rid. We just don't have anything to put it in. That's what I'm saying. So, um, so Miha's last day here will be the 30th of September, and hopefully she'll be able to find a home with people that will make her, last year's comfortable and happy. Because she's really miserable here. I mean, she whines at my door all the time because she's lonely, and I just can't spend that much time sitting in the wheelchair, just doing nothing but being company for the dog. I can't do it. If I was able to work out there, then that would be a different story, but I can't because, I have to navigate around pee pads and just, it's a mess. And with my tendonitis acting up now, I have it in both arms. Up and down, wheeling around in the wheelchair, back and forth to keep the dog separated is just too much. So, yeah, hopefully she'll find a good home, and we'll just keep that in our thoughts instead of the alternative. And I let my neighbor know that the appointment was made. I didn't hear back from him, but I know he got the text. So, Electric Garfield. Oh, my Garfield. Yeah. I made that actually. That's one of my signature tags that I made that a long time ago when I used to put people's names on them and stuff so they could use them as like email signatures or put them on their web pages, things like that. The Garfield himself I didn't make, but all the effects around it I did. Papa, yeah. Yeah. When our neighbors used to dump oil, their cooking grease and all that on an old tree stump that was out in between our yards. But thank you, Wheels. I like him too. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't want anybody to see how nasty that thing, come in my house and see how disgusting that thing is and wonder how come I didn't get food poisoning, because it is gross. I mean, I'm looking at it yesterday and I'm just like, oh my God, he made food out of this? Why did he never clean this thing, I'm like, ugh. But, yeah. I survived it. So, there's other stuff that has to get taken out of here too. I mean, there's a broken recliner that he had and a broken dresser that he used part of. He had two of them, and he used them to form kind of a barrier so that he would have privacy in the living room. Why he didn't just stay in the small room, I don't know. But and then there's the metal shelf rack type thing that's in the bathroom that he put in there to supposedly to hang towels on it. I've never seen a towel on it. I saw all his dirty clothes hanging all over it, but I never saw a towel on it. And those are the three big things that he was supposed to get out of here that he didn't. So, yeah. But see, I'm conflicted about Miha. I mean, it'll be a relief to not have to look after both dogs, but it'll be sad because Miha's been a family member for so long, and I'm gonna miss her a lot, So we just wish the best for her and hope she'll be okay. I have guilt. I feel guilty about turning the dog over, but I didn't voluntarily get two dogs. I had one dog and one cat, and I can deal with two cats because there's not much difference from one cat to two cats, but two dogs from one to two is a big difference, especially when they don't get along. So, so yeah, but muddling through, I'm just all happy I have clean clothes. It smells so good. I'm sitting here like sniffing my shirt. I'm like, ooh, it smells so good. So Other than that, not much going on. Been pretty uneventful. No drama, really. Yeah, Papa. It's kind of like a transitional with age, I think. I love the Cheshire cat. I love him. Remember, I have him kind of on the back of my phone, my old phone, um, and it's so faded. I don't think you'd be able to see it on the camera, but it just has his big smiley teeth and big eyes, and it says, "Imagination is the only weapon in the war against reality." That's my phone case on my old phone. I tried to find one for my new phone, but I couldn't find one like it, so I had to get something different. But John loved the Cheshire Cat too, and he's purple, so he's awesome. So, but Garfield was a favorite. I still have a couple of those Garfield flip books, the comic books. They're like longer than they all are tall. I still have one or two of those somewhere. I know I've run across them when I've gone through my stuff. Him with his face planted in a thing of lasagna. Lasagna was my favorite food for a while because of Garfield. And I had a cat that slept like him, face down like that. And we called it face planting Garfield style. And he would just sleep like that. How the hell that cat could breathe, I don't know, because his face would literally be straight down into whatever he was laying on. That was my son's cat magic. So, so I don't know how long live will be. Today is I could not get. I mean, blah, 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 blah. I had a hard time getting started this morning. Usually I'm up all hours, and last night I crashed about 11 o'clock. I couldn't stay awake anymore. I had slept late. I had tried to go to sleep earlier after my mom left because I was so tired. Because she was here for about 2 hours and sitting in that wheelchair for 2 hours, wheeling around back and forth, doing whatever. It's tiring. So I was tired. And I slept for an hour. And I was like, what? So I finally crashed at like 11 o'clock and I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. So I had to go to the bathroom, had to go pee. And normally I would be up and I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep right away. And I could not stay awake. And I crashed and didn't wake up until my alarm went off at 7:25 because I set my alarm so I go to Victoria's show. And I was just like, oh, it's Kodi zombie. Yeah, I was bear zombie this morning. So every couple of weeks, my body just says, nope, you are not functioning today and will not let me wake up. It's weird, but I actually get some sleep, which is a good thing since I don't get much normally. Normally, I'm all over the place with my sleep schedule. So I learned now just to, if I'm tired, I go to sleep. It's not like I have a schedule I have to keep, except for when I do my shows. And, I do sometimes have a problem waking up for those, but I didn't today. So it's good because I grabbed like an hour nap before my show. But I've said it before, I've tried staying awake all day and then sleeping at night because people are like, well, just stay awake, no sleep during the day. And I tried that and it still doesn't work. I'll sleep for an hour and I'll be up all night. So I'm like, no, you know what? If I'm that tired that I'm falling asleep sitting up, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to sleep. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's not like I had to check in with anybody or, nobody's depending on me to get to a job or, things like that. The only ones that depend on me are the animals and I'm awake for their schedule. So, or if I'm that tired, I take care of them first and then I go to sleep. So Miha was happy. She got to eat early yesterday because I knew I wasn't going to want to get up again. So after my mom left, I gave Miha her food and water, and usually she doesn't eat until later in the day. Yeah, it's quiet, Papa. But usually she doesn't eat until after like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And But she ate at 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and I made something to eat, and I came in my room and didn't leave again. I was like, I am not getting back in that chair today. So, yep. So it's really nice seeing that corner all clean though. It's like every time I turned around, I was like, "Oh, it's clean," and like because those bags started piling up 6 years ago, and John at one point grabbed a whole bunch of them and threw them away, and we told her, "Don't save the bags that have holes in them. What is the point of that? The whole reason you save them is so you can reuse them, instead of filling up landfills with bags that you can use again." And she just continued, and holes, and one of them didn't even have a bottom to it. I'm like, so you're saving a plastic bag tube? Nice. It's girl made no sense sometimes. So, they're all gone now. All gone. All gone. So my mother was like, "Do you want to go through them and see which ones to save?" I'm like, "No." Just throw them away. Sorry, planet Earth, but I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, future Walmart orders or grocery store orders or whatever that come in that are in bags, I go through them, and I'll get 5 bags from Walmart, and there'll be like one that's you can still use. All the other ones have little holes in them, so they are not made to last. That's for sure. I think I have 2 bags that are on my counter in a box from the last couple of times that I've had groceries brought in the house. And those are the only 2 that didn't have holes. Yeah, Papa, I mean, there were cans of food under the baker's rack. She goes, "I can't read the expiration date." I said, "Doesn't matter, throw them away. They've been under there for at least 2 years. Throw them away." She found a whole unopened thing of Concord grape jelly, and she's like, "Well, what about that?" I'm like, "No, throw it away." I'm like, "Nope, I'm not keeping under the baker rack food. Nope." The cans were, cans of stuff was all rusted, and it just looked very unappetizing. I'm like, I'm not eating that. Because I used to try and put the food when I could, move around freely or more freely. And I used to put the food in the upper cabinets, and canned goods went over on the baker's rack. And canned goods that we didn't use that often. I mean, vegetables that we would use more frequently would go in with the food that you need access to immediately, quick access to. Issa just never put anything away where it was supposed to go, and if there was no room on the baker's rack, she just stacked it up on the floor. So stuff went everywhere. It was horrible. I'm like, stop it. But now I can't reach those cabinets until I can use my leg better. Yeah, it would be food botulism, but now I wasn't taking a chance on it. I mean, there was a can of tuna under there. There was a can of pineapple. There's the grape jelly. There was couple of things of pie filling, and I don't even remember when that came in the house. So I was like, nope, no, thank you. So my shopping when I shop is very minimal to what can fit on the baker's rack, because otherwise I'll have to sack it on my counter, because I can't reach the shelves. I can't reach the cabinets comfortably. So my mom was funny. She goes, "Well, you still have food from when I brought it over last week, right? I mean, you're not almost out or anything." And I'm like, "How much food do you think I eat?" I'm like, "Oh my God." I don't know how many times I've told her I eat like once a day, but she seems to think that all I do is eat all day. I'm like, nope. So I open the freezer and she's like, "Have you eaten anything?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I mean, but minimally, I mean, one meal a day, your food's gonna last a while, And she's like, "Well, good, then I don't have to shop again this week." I'm like, "Mom, you probably won't have to shop next week either." I mean, not for a lot, like water. I'll need water and maybe a couple of bottles of Pepsi. Pringles are life. But minimal stuff. It's I've got chicken strips in there. I've got chicken patties. I've got hamburger patties. I still have the Edwards cream pie. She's like, "You haven't touched the pie yet." I'm like, "Not yet." Um, I'm so happy it's there that I don't want to start eating it because I know I won't stop eating it. I've got some Marie Calendar frozen stuff in there. I mean, there's food enough in there to last, you know. Plus, I've got my vegetables and things like that. So, yeah, I'm plenty. Plus, I've still got 36 eggs. I still have the two packages. They're like 18 count each, the double pack. I've got plenty of food. It's weird having food that lasts in the house. You know, it's very odd, but it's nice. It's a good thing. I like it. It is a very welcome change. I'm not happy that I couldn't buy it myself. I would have preferred to be able to buy my own food, but I am grateful that it is in my home and I don't have to stress over what I'm being able to eat. And thanks to YouTube angels, I have plenty of dog food. I have plenty of cat food. Although, let me tell you something. Getting a box that has a bag of dog food in it from outside when they put it even 6 inches away from the wall of my house near my door was very painful. I strained my right arm really bad. That's one of the reasons I had to wrap it. It's because I felt my arm, the muscles in my arm or tendon or whatever, I felt it pop. That hurt. But I did get it in the house. So yeah. And I still have an unopened bag of cat food. It's like a 20-pound bag of cat food. 22 pounds, I think. So I still have a full bag of that. Plus, I have some in the container that's not even half empty yet. So, yeah, I have a crap ton of food for the animals. So I'm just glad I don't have to stress over food for them. And I appreciate people so much for helping me out with that. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So, yeah, I had what did I make the other night? Yesterday, I cooked a chicken pot pie. I was not in the mood to back and forth with the wheelchair after being in it for 2 hours. I wasn't, because my process for having to make stuff is I have to get the ingredients out of the fridge and off the shelf, and those are in, about 10 feet away from each other. Put it on the table, then bring whatever I need over to the stove if I'm going to cook it on the stove, and back and forth, and back to the fridge to put stuff away. It's a process, and in the wheelchair it makes it more difficult. So I was not in the mood for that yesterday. So I made I microwaved chicken pot pie, which was pretty good. Marie Calendar chicken pot pies are pretty good. But the night before, I made 3 of the chicken strips and I cut them up and I made mashed potatoes and asparagus. And I just made my own like potato bowl and threw it all in a bowl together and carried it in my room. Because when I transport food, I have to do it one-handed. So having a plate with a bunch of loose food on it is dangerous. Because you tilt the wrong way and your food is then Miha food. And that dog will eat just about anything. So it'd be gone. And so I put it in a bowl, brought it in, had my own. Kind of like one of those chicken bowls from KFC. Only mine had potatoes and asparagus instead of corn and stuff. So it was good. I still have some of the potatoes and asparagus left, so I'll probably have that tonight. Had to give honor to Tina. Don't know what she's doing, but had to, talk about food. I told her that we do that too. I'm like, I honor you every live by talking about food. She just chuckled. She laughed. She thought that was cute. So. Yeah, nothing else much really happening. With all the drama I go through, you'd think that my life would be a lot more exciting than what it is. It's not. It's not exciting. When you click the StreamYard link, it will bring you to a page, and it has a little microphone and camera thing underneath your picture, and you can click camera off, and then it'll just show your avatar. Or the generic circle if you don't have your avatar uploaded. The only reason I don't have my camera, hey Roy, how's my favorite hyper monkey? The only reason I don't have my camera on is because I'm up here by myself and it makes me too big and my camera is kind of sucky, so it pixelates me really bad and I don't like it. When there's somebody else up here with me, I can turn the camera on and the picture doesn't look as bad because the pixels are all compressed, so it doesn't look as fuzzy. How are you, Roy? Yeah, it's a pixely matrix, I'm telling you. Roy, my camera sucks. I do have a better camera. The problem is the microphone on that camera sucks. And I did try to just use the camera and use my laptop mic, and it wasn't working. So I got to figure that shit out because the other camera is a lot clearer. It's also got a wider angle. Like you can see more of behind me, and that's not good because I look like I live in a storage unit. But yeah, and I got that out of a mystery box from Ella from Save Here First during Adam Hartman's Matrix. Hey, Keanu can show up at my house anytime he wants, okay? There's a permanent invitation for him. On Adam Hartman's Friendship Wheel giveaway thing, I won a $50 mystery box from Save Here First from Ella. And there was a damn video camera in it. I was like, holy crap. And I'm thinking it's just going to be some cheap little knockoff. It probably won't be any better than my, not that she gives cheap things, but, I didn't expect her to put something decent, really good, in a mystery box full of stuff. Everything in the box was good. And yeah, the camera's awesome. But the microphone is kind of crappy. It's not that the microphone's crappy. It's just that it's very low volume and we couldn't figure out how to adjust that. So I don't know. I got to play with the camera some more. I will eventually. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Oh, you want a prize too? Yeah. Yeah. I got all kinds of stuff in that box. I got a gamer mouse. I got the microphone, the camera. I got a really nice candle, which killed me to try and get open because it's in a little tin and the top didn't want to come off. So now I have it open and the tin just resting on the top of it so that I don't have to struggle with it again because my hands are bad. So it was difficult. Got a lot of beauty product stuff. And yeah, it was a nice box. It's nice. How are you, Kathy? Good. Kathy, I tried to stay awake for that live dive lounge thing, and my system crashed at 11. I was like 5 minutes of 11. I'm like, nope, I can't do it. And I was down and out. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and was up for about 20 minutes, and I was out again. I was like, oh. Woke up at 7:25 when my alarm went off. Oh, what's the matter, Kathy? Did someone lock your favorite dumpster? Sorry. It was the first thing that came to my head. Because let me tell you, that had to suck for Big B when he went on that drive and every dumpster he went to was locked or empty or cardboard boxes. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's sad. I know you liked hanging out there. Well, whatever happened, I'm sorry. Now I feel bad I wasn't there, unless it was something behind the scenes that I wouldn't have been able to know anyway. But it was fun going with him. It was. He really needs to clean his windshield. His windshield was a mess. But yeah, it was fun, driving around listening to him chatter. Okay. Yeah, I got you. It sucks when one person is like that and it kind of makes everybody else uncomfortable. Yeah, I get you. Papa, I'm sorry. Tina! What's up, Tina? Yo, Tina, what the fuck is happening? How the fuck are ya? Honey, I have been campaigning for your dartboard so hard. Susanna's getting mad at me. I keep bringing up her dartboard. Okay, Papa. Well, thank you for trying. Oh my god, Beavis and Butthead. I hate them. I dislike Beavis and Butthead more than I dislike Minions. Put it that way. I cannot stand them. I will, Kathy. I will. If I'm awake, I'll be there. I don't have anything else that I do regularly, like no shows or anything that I go to regularly on Sundays. So, yeah, it was fun. Besides, it's so much fun to mess with Wes and chat. Roy, no. No. That was the most ridiculous cartoon. And I don't like South Park either, before you ask. Oh, weird, Papa. I don't know. I don't know, maybe because I'm always signed into StreamYard. Although, I don't remember when I first started, I didn't have StreamYard because I wasn't doing my own lives, so I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, Wes follows you. He does. He stalks you. I think at this point he could be considered your number one fan because he tells everybody that you're a big deal and that you actually have, a channel and videos and stuff. Wes is funny. Kodi, are you flirting with Kathy again? Absolutely. And I can do that. Now go pout quietly to yourself. I got pictures and you didn't. He's going to come in here and yell at me. He is hilarious. He is. My dog just let out the biggest sigh, and all she's doing is just laying there. Cup of coffee in the big time. Oh, yeah. Okay. Is this your smoke break, Roy? You taking a break? Hey, Lance. How's my boomer? You're not late. I've only been on a half an hour. It's okay. Kathy. Well, that's an interesting combination. Hopefully, he doesn't need one to get the other to do what it needs to do. I'm glad Boomer is great. I love Lance's dog, Boondocking with Boomer. If you haven't seen any of his videos, he has the most gorgeous Great Dane, and I absolutely love Great Danes. And Boomer is so adorable, and I just want to love all over that dog. I'm just Unfortunately, Lance is in Canada, so that's not going to happen. But not currently on a smoke break now. Okay, just checking. I love watching the video. I loved the video where you took him to the park and he was just all over the place trying to play with everybody and everything in that park. It was great. I liked it when they let you loose and you got to play too, Lance. I miss my Great Dane so much, but I couldn't even imagine trying to take care of him with not being able to walk. I mean, granted, I could hook him up and he could pull the wheelchair for me, but you know how Great Danes are. I would be in the least place that I expected by the time he finished. Hi, Nikki. Congratulations, Queen of the Brooches. I was watching that last night. Nikki won the very last brooch off. You go, Your Majesty. And that was awesome that your son sold his brooch for so much. So now he has a little bit of money to save. That's so cool. Yeah, Lance, that would not be good. It would be like hooking Marmaduke up to a dog sled or something. You would end up who knows where. Okay, now you have to mute your YouTube.
I did.
Okay. Otherwise, you get that echo and you hear us re-say everything that we already said. How are you?
All right. How are you?
I am hanging in there.
Yeah, this is my first time to jump on one of these. So I just thought, well, what the heck? It's a lazy day. I might as well be brave and give it a shot.
Yay! Well, I'm glad you picked my show to do it. Hooray!
Figured maybe an extra person in here would help get some people talking out there.
I know it's well, Kathy's here now, and Nikki's here, and Lance. So there's and Roy. So there's more people coming in. It's just sometimes notifications don't go out. Why you people need notifications when I go every Wednesday? I almost said Tuesday. I'm like, well, no wonder they're not showing up.
Plus, I get tired of just typing messages all the time. So
yeah, with me,
because
it's like,
by the time you say something and I type something in, you're already on to something else.
mm-hmm. I do have friends, Roy. You're in my chat. You're my friend. Look, Kodi, you have friends, smart ass. So yeah, yeah. I don't do well being by myself because I don't have anybody to interact with directly,
Right.
and there is always a lag between StreamYard and YouTube. So a lot of the times, especially if the chat's moving fast or you get behind in it, you never catch up. I mean, Victoria constantly says, okay, I'm trying to catch up. And I'm messaging her going, you're never catching up.
So what, Roy? Do my J look like a brown M&M to you?
So, yeah, that's why I always like it when someone's on the panel with me because I hear someone else's voice. I know you're rarely serious, Roy. That's why I love you. And it's I mean, you would think that someone that talks as much as I do would have no problem being up here just talking, and yeah, I do. Unless I can interact with the chat, at least, But then the chat lags, and I'm like sitting here twiddling my thumbs, going, "Okay, here's your awkward silence for the day."
Right.
And I don't want to constantly go over doom and gloom and bad things that are going on in my life because nobody wants to just come to a live to listen to blah, So, I mean, I do explain things because people ask me. But I try not to glom onto it because otherwise I'll be sitting here a depressed mess that's not trying to do anything, and I don't want to do that. So,
right.
I just say what's happening and let it go at that. I'm like Miha. I'm very sad about my dog.
Yeah, that's got to be hard.
It is. It is very hard. I mean, John found her at the bottom of our street 11 years ago. Her and her sister had been thrown out of a car. And I had sent him to go get me cigarettes. It was like 11 o'clock at night. The store was closing in an hour, and he came back with a puppy. And I'm like, what is that? Why do you have that? He goes, I found her at the bottom of the street. I'm like, okay, put her down and go get my cigarettes, please. And he's like, okay. So he puts her down, and she's just sitting there looking at me. She just sat there looking at me, and I'm like, uh-huh. Now, the house I was living in, I was only supposed to have one dog, and I already had one. Kevin! I'm glad you're alive, Kevin. He comes back with another puppy. I'm like, no, I can't smoke that. What are you doing? He goes, well, there's only two. I'm like, good. Now go get me cigarettes before I hurt you. So he did. And these pups, they didn't even know how to play with each other. It's like they were afraid to move. And they had kind of like not scabs, but like rub marks on them from being roughed up, I guess, by other dogs. So I was like, okay. I was like, we will keep the dogs for 30 days. Hopefully the landlord won't show up because the landlord was also his boss. I said, hopefully the landlord will not show up and, hey, Carol Ann, and we won't get in trouble for having 3 dogs in a house I'm only supposed to have 1 in. So I said, we'll socialize them. We'll get them friendly, and they were already beautiful, And 30 days later, I was like, okay, it's been 30 days. The pups are fine. They're adoptable. I'm calling animal control. Well, John grabbed Miha and ran out the door. He hid. The animal control couldn't take her. And he told his boss that he was puppy sitting. 6 years later, the landlord finally realized that we weren't puppy sitting, but the dog was his.
That's crazy.
Yep, I can't smoke that, Nikki. Although at that point I was about to try. So yeah, and so we've had Miha for 11 years, and she was John's baby. I mean, he spoiled that dog. I trained her. He spoiled her. So of course she always went to him, unless she needed something, because I was the only one that could understand what she wanted. Like if she had to go outside and he was not paying attention to her, she'd come to me and whine at me, and I'd be like, "John, your dog wants to go out." And he'd be like, "Oh, okay," and he'd put her out. Or she'd come sit in front of me and look at me, and I'd be like, "John, your dog wants water." He's like, "I just gave them water like an hour ago." I'm like, "Well, the bowl's empty. Now I'm not anywhere near the bowl." Right? And he'll go out and he'll go, "Oh, I'll be damned, bowl's dry." I'm like, "Told you." So, you know, and I just feel so bad for her. She's never been alone, so I'm hoping that she gets someplace that there's somebody that's there with her. That Kathy, the shelter, emailed me back and made her with an appointment for me to surrender her. So I kept the appointment, even though I was adjusting to having to take care of both dogs and what I was going to have to do. Hey, Donna. I hesitated because I was very tempted to just say, "Oh, I don't need the appointment now." But there's a reason the appointment came through after them telling me they couldn't do it. And just the physical strain of having to take care of both of them because I have to keep them separated. I don't want to say it's easier on me because that makes it feel like it makes me feel even worse that I'm taking a more convenient way out. If I could, without causing myself more damage, if I could take care of both of them or I had help with them, I would keep her. But I can't. And I do have other things that I have to get done eventually when we finish getting the house set up the way it's supposed to be. So her last day at home will be September 30th. She has an appointment for 1 p.m. So September 30th will be a very sad, sad day for me. Yeah. But hopefully she'll find some place that will give her a good few last years. I mean, she's a large dog. She probably doesn't have that many years left, which makes me feel even worse that we've had her this long. And now, I feel like I'm acting like she's disposable. And my pets have never been disposable. They're family members. I mean, that's like saying your kids are disposable, So my heart is just breaking over this. But
yeah, I hate people that think of pets as disposable. I see so many people buy their kids pets, and then after a year or so, they just can't stand them anymore, and they just throw them away.
Or they're like, "Oh, hey, the kid wants a dog, so let's get him a dog," and then they expect a person, you naturally expect someone of a certain age to take care of their pet, and if they don't do it, they're like, "Well, we're getting rid of the dog." Well, you accepted the responsibility by getting the dog in the first place, so you get to take care of it too. I mean, when I was 5, my parents got me a dog. They did not expect me to take care of it completely. I mean, I would give her food every night, and I put her outside all the time, and I helped train her. When I was a little older, I taught her some things. Now, when I got my Cocker Spaniel when I was 13, I trained that dog myself. I took care of her and did everything for her. My dad didn't like her because I trained my Cocker Spaniel to whistles, different intonations, tones, trills, and sequences, and my dad couldn't whistle. So the dog wouldn't listen to him, so he'd get so frustrated. He'd be like, "Get this dog to do this." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'd give the whistle, and the dog would go do it, and he'd be like, "Ugh."
Or do like a police dog and train it in German only,
Well, Miha's command for no is "niet." It's Russian.
Yeah.
We trained all our dogs with that because if anybody tried to get in the house or, tried to attack one of us, if they told the dog no, a dog, it wars with itself over whether to listen. But if the dog doesn't understand what the word no means, the dog's not going to listen. So I have to write a list of her commands. But no, niet is the only foreign word we use. So, hey, TG. Yeah, Kathy, a lot of times pities get passed up. And here, I mean, I had people saying, put an ad out for a free dog, but I'm in South Carolina, and in the area I'm in, dogfighting is still a big thing. And they will scoop up an older dog and use it as a bait dog. And
Oh yeah.
I'm not putting her through that. There's no way, so I couldn't take that chance. See, they won't do that with dogs that they get from a shelter because they have to give all their information to the shelter. So,
Right.
And dogfighting people like to stay anonymous. They don't like to give their information to anyone. So yeah, I had to be very careful. So yeah, if I could have found her, I mean, I asked my neighbors, does anybody know any place? And a lot of them said that they had someone that would take her, but she'd have to live outside. Miha has never lived outside, and the heat in this state would kill her because she's a double-coated dog. She's Shepherd Nikita, so she's got that really thick double coat, and the heat would be too much for her to just live outside. And no. So I couldn't do that. So they said that they would keep asking around, but then the shelter contacted me out of the blue. I was not expecting them to contact me at all. So we just have, even if it's deluding myself, I have to keep the thought that she will find somebody that will love her and take care of her and give her the attention that she just came to my door and was like, because she's out there by herself. She has never been alone, ever. Either she's had another dog or a cat or a person with her at all times. So yeah, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it at all, and I can't blame her. Now Marty's gone running out into the rest of the house because she's gotten through the doors, and she loves up on Miha like they're long lost best friends. And they had not ever met except for the few times Marty ran out the door, went nose to nose with this big ass dog, and went, oh shit, and ran back in the room. So for her to get out and all of a sudden just start rubbing up on the dog, I'm like, what is happening here? Miha was so happy to have another animal out there, but I don't have another litter box, so I can't leave Marty out there. So yeah. So, but yeah, so she's got another couple of weeks here, and then she'll go to a better home, hopefully. Well, I won't say better because nobody's going to give her the love that I could give her, but I just can't take care of her as she should be taken care of, and that makes me feel bad.
Hopefully, though, she'll find somebody that can love her like you did. So
yeah, I hope so. I mean, she's a really sweet dog. She's just such a good dog, and she's relatively quiet. I mean, she'll let you know when someone comes to the house, but she doesn't bark at like a leaf blowing across the yard like my son's dog did. Good God, that dog barked if like a breeze rustled the tree leaves or whatever. A squirrel farts 3 miles away and his dog started barking. But her and Simi are very good. They give you the indication when someone is eminently close to you, like someone comes to the door, and that's it. So I do have to let them know that she's not really good with smaller dogs like Chihuahuas. She's been known to lure those into our backyard and then attack them. She got a thing about small dogs. I don't know. She's okay with male and fixed dogs because Miha's also not fixed. I tried getting John to get her spayed and he wouldn't do it. He kept saying, but she's so beautiful and she'll have beautiful puppies. And I'm like, the last thing we need is to voluntarily have more puppies. Stop it. Because I did have a border collie that it took me 6 months to save up the money to get her fixed. And in those 9 months, she had 3 litters of puppies that we had to, find homes for. And some of them got turned over to the shelter, but we did find homes for most of them. Well, the first litter, the neighbor poisoned them. Same neighbor that poisoned my Great Dane. Yeah, he ended up in jail in Georgia for unrelated issues. That's nice for him. He was also somebody who was a dog fighter.
Damn.
Yeah. And the dog John had at the time, Max, he was a Rottweiler Bloodhound mix. And when he was 6 months old, this guy just let his pits and his pit mix run around the neighborhood. He had 4 pit bulls and a pit bull mix, or 3 pit bulls and a pit bull mix. He just let them run around. And we told him, your dogs are irritating our dogs when they come up here. Why are you letting them run loose? He goes, well, they need to have that recreation, not recreation, recreation. I'm like, oh my God, you illiterate fuck. And I looked at him, I was like, he goes, oh, my dog will kick your dog's ass. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, we did have a chain link fence around our front yard. And at 6 months old, Max decided he had enough of these dogs coming up and being on the other side of the fence. So Max forced his way under it. And he proceeded to beat the crap out of all 4 dogs and chase them all the way down to their house, where they ran into their kennel, their enclosed kennel, into their dog houses. And he then walked out and pissed on the front bush of the house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, John and the dog shared an attitude, let me tell you, because I was like, John, the dog's loose. And he's like, oh, shit. So he went out immediately to try and get the dog, and he caught up with him down at their house just in time to see Max piss on the bushes. And so he hooked him up to the leash and brought him home, and the guy comes up, and he's yelling at us because his dogs got beat up. And I'm like, we told you not to let your dogs run the neighborhood. You know, it was only a matter of time before someone else's dog went after your dogs, so stop it. Yeah, he got busted for dog fighting in Georgia, and all his animals got confiscated, which is good. So, dog fighting is one of the most disgusting. I don't even want to say hobby, because it's just horrible. It's a horrible pastime to fight dogs against each other. So we had somebody come up and try and buy Max from us. They're like, hey, how much do you want for that dog? And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, he'd be a good in the ring. And I'm like, get the fuck off my property before I go in and get my fucking 9 and shoot your ass. He was like, whoa, you don't got to be like that. I said, but I am. So go now. So, yeah. I will very much enjoy being able to just open the back door and let the dog out. You know, instead of having to put a tie out and worry about her getting attacked. Because Simi's been attacked in our backyard 3 times. So getting this, yeah. Because people around here, they just let dogs run loose all over the place. And I'm like, and Simi is friendly. She'll let any dog approach her. You know, she gets everybody, person or dog or whatever, is just an animal, just a friend she hasn't met yet.
Right.
She's very, very friendly. So these dogs will come run, and they're always in packs. There's always more than one. And she's, you know, both John and my son had to go out there and get dogs off her. And she got injured, not bad enough to go to a vet, but she did get hurt, you know. And with my physical situation, if a dog attacks her, I can't get out there to help her, you know. So it was causing me so much stress that if anything happened and we're out there, I was stuck. So the kennel will be a big, big help. And she'll be safe, and I'll be safe because... Yeah, Roy, I did have to pull it on somebody once. Yeah, they tried breaking in my house. Again, another dog issue. But yeah, I did pull it on somebody, and I was going to shoot them. I'd have no problem shooting somebody, let me tell you. But she was already in the car by the time I had the gun up and aimed, and her boyfriend was going out my driveway sideways. So yeah, I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Kodi don't play. TJ saying hello to lurkers. Hello, lurkers.
Yes, lurkers are people too.
Yeah.
They just don't want to say anything.
Which is okay. I know they're watching. So how's everything going with you, Papa?
Well, just same old, same old. Just staying locked up here in my little apartment, staying out of the COVID crap. So
yeah, I hear that.
It was kind of lovely last night. I kept hearing this loud noise and found out that the elevator, which is like 20 feet away from my front door, was broken, and the door was stuck open. The alarm was going crazy.
Oh my God.
So they finally got here early this morning and fixed it.
Wow. That's always nice. Oh, I have a Klingon cat.
Kitty cat.
She doesn't want to get off. There, that's better.
I used to have a cat like that. She just would not get off of me.
If I try and get her down, she will dig in. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But normally, since I've had the crap room door open, because I have a connecting door into the smaller room, if I open all the doors up around in the house, I can go all the way in a circle. But since I've had the connecting door open, they've been in that room. They don't bother, they don't come in and see me at all unless oh, they don't have their food down. That's why she's in here. Also, I'm busy. So now, of course, she's like, oh, mommy needs my attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my cat that did that was named Jinx.
That's a cute name.
At one time, my ex and I had 14 cats.
I had 11 at one point. It was way too many.
When we lived in a little small town outside of Austin called Red Rock, and we were kind of the cat rescue of the area. Every time the people at the general store would see a cat wandering around, they would call us to come and pick it up. So
my mom is upset because the one cat that was still coming up to her porch to eat has not been up there since my mom got sick. And my daughter was putting food out whenever she saw the cat, but because my mom is a crazy cat lady that feeds all the neighborhood cats, she had 3 foxes move into the back part of the property. They've got woods back there, and there's a little creek that runs through the property. And they had 3 foxes out there, and all the cats started disappearing. My mom's like, I don't know where they went. I'm like, I do. Because a fox will eat a cat in a heartbeat. And that's, the chance you take when they live outside. But, she doesn't know where this cat went. I was like, well, maybe it found someplace that it has better food that they like, the food that they like better or something. I'm trying to make my mom feel better because she was thinking it was her fault because she got sick because my mom had COVID. And, yeah, Roy's cat is awesome. I like Roy's cat. Over 10 is definitely crazy cat person level. Thanks, Roy. We had my cat Lucky, my mama Kitty. She ended up having quite a few litters of cats with John's cat Tigger, which was a part Maine Coon. And at one point we had 11. Plus, every time John saw a cat anywhere, he'd bring it home. And I'm like, stop it. Even the dogs were collecting cats because we had a cat named Shy. It was John's cat. He named her Shy because she was not. And she just sat in the middle of our front yard with 4 dogs surrounding her, like barking at her and stuff. And she's just sitting there licking her paw like whatever. And my daughter Kayla is like, Mommy, we have a pretty kitty in our front yard. I'm like, oh no. And John went and looked out the window. He goes, I'll be right back. I'm like, oh crap. And boom, Shy moved in. So yeah, 11 was a lot to take care of. A lot. So
yeah, we have
dude, nice. So, I had been trying to keep my animal situation to 1 cat and 1 dog because I love both cats and dogs. So one of each was fine. And John adopted 2 cats from the animal shelter. And we went and picked them up on my birthday. Hi, Anna. And Onyx, like 3 or 4 days later, Onyx finally came out of hiding. She was raised in someone's house. She was born in someone's house. Marty, the one that's mostly black and white that has the blind eye, she was found a couple of streets over from us, actually, and brought to the shelter. And she was all over the place. She didn't care. She was doing whatever she wanted to do, But Onyx was hiding until, the 4th day. And she came up and just walked up, stood in front of me and just thumped onto me like, I love you. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening? Because both of the cats were John's cats. And Onyx is the one who adopted me. I was still trying to get over losing my cat Wolfie. I had lost her, I think about 6 months before that. And it still hurt, And I wasn't planning on getting another cat right away. Well, Onyx decided, nope, you're getting a cat right now. So John ended up giving me Onyx for my birthday. So Onyx was my baby. And then, of course, when John died, I wasn't letting Issa take Marty because Marty hates Issa. With extreme prejudice, this cat does not like this woman. I've never seen a cat go after someone like Marty did to Issa. It was like it's Marty's mission in life to make Issa bleed. And she did almost every day that Issa came over here. So, and it's funny because Issa is the one that spotted Marty. Because Marty was down in the corner. So in the shelter, when you go in, you open the door stays open unless you actually close it to the area where the cats are. So the kennel Marty was in was blocked by the door. And when we were leaving, Issa actually spotted her and said, "Oh, that cat's pretty." And when John saw that the cat had a blind eye, and he asked the shelter people about it, and they said, "No, she came in like that." And our vet said that she was probably born that way. It's not something that can be fixed. He felt bad because he was having vision problems. He was scheduled to have LASIK surgery in his eyes, and I think he empathized with the cat, so he adopted her too.
That's cool.
And so, but yeah, the cat hated it.
I've seen a few instances where parents have actually found a cat or a dog with maybe a 3-legged dog or something with problems similar to a child, and get that animal for that child where they can kind of relate.
Yep. Yeah, it gives that bond of empathy where they understand.
Yeah.
Dogs are amazingly adaptable when they lose a limb. I mean, it's amazing. I'm like, I wish I could have adapted that quickly. But you would never know Marty was blind. I mean, people have seen her racing around behind me, and you would never know. It took her a few tries when she went to jump from one thing to the other, and the whole comedy routine of her leaping out into the air and missing something was funny. She never got hurt, but it was like all 4 legs splayed out like a cartoon character, and she just went straight down. I'm like, but she zooms everywhere. She's compensated and adjusted to only seeing out of one eye. So you'd never know the way she behaves. You'd never know this cat was half blind. She definitely has catitude, and she's not a cuddler. Marty is not a cuddler. Every once in a while, she'll come over and she'll rub her face on me, like on my face, or she'll give me kisses. She'll actually like lay next to me and lick my hand. But she's not like Onyx, which you saw draped over me like a fur shawl. Onyx is a cuddler. Onyx is definitely a cuddler. But I honestly, I mean, except on TV like that, My Cat from Hell show, I've never seen a cat behave towards somebody like Marty does towards Issa. I mean, she's the only one that she behaved like that to. And the cats lived in my room because of the dogs, and her cat that she had that didn't really like her either. So it's not like she had the opportunity to do something to the cat to give that attitude. Because if she had, she would have been sporting a black eye because I would have decked her.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
she just. I mean, she never gave her pats the right way. She would rough her up like a dog. I'm like, don't do that. The cats don't like that. Unless a cat is something that they can deal with, they don't like to be ruffled all over. It sets their hair going the wrong way, and then they have to give themselves a bath for an hour to fix it. But yeah, Issa would come in the room, and Marty, no matter where Marty was, if she was dead asleep, whatever, she would go running to where Issa was and attack her. I'm like, what the hell? She actually bit her in the ass twice. Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Issa was doing something, and her back was to me, and Marty crept up on her like she was hunting and crouched down, and I could actually see her trying to compensate distance and judging, where she was. Hey, Wes.
Hey, Wes.
And I watched her slowly kind of stand up on her back feet and just propel herself and bit her right on the ass. And I'm like, I could have warned her about that, but that was funny. Yeah, she didn't even do that to Talon. She never attacked Talon or clawed him or bit him or anything, but she would even take a swipe at Issa when Issa was leaving. And I'm like, damn, cat does not like you. So when John died, there's no way, because Issa wanted to take Marty, and I'm like, look, I was like, the cats have been living together for over a year. They consider themselves family with each other, and the cat doesn't like you, Issa. So, and the fact that she threw her cat out the door, she turned her cat into an outdoor cat. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, because resentments will build up because the cat doesn't like you, and you'll start taking it out on the cat, because I know how she is, and I was like, just let her stay here, so she did. And I'm glad, because her cat ended up disappearing. She texted me one day and said, we can't find Blackie. And I'm like, okay, well, how did you lose her in the house? And she said, no, she's been living outside. I'm like, why is your cat living outside? I mean, not only is she in a strange place because she moved, but she's at a condo that's on lakeside. So you've got, water moccasins and copperheads and all kinds of poisonous, venomous snakes there and wildlife. And I'm like, that's stupid. But they never did find it. She said she checked with the shelter and she checked with everybody, but the condo association didn't want outdoor cats. So she thinks that one of them called and had the cat removed. And I'm like, well, if you break the rules, this is what happened. If you knew they didn't want outdoor cats, why did you let your cat outside? The woman shouldn't have pets or children. She's not a very good parental role either. But yeah, anyway, I miss my Talon. I miss my godson. I don't get to see him because she's always busy now. Hey, Dana. So, yeah, so Marty stayed here and causes havoc. Like she just knocked over my laundry basket again. Thank you. Yeah, my mom brought my laundry basket. It's just one of those little round ones, but also being small and round, once the clothes are clean, they don't fit in it. And me and my mom folded up everything when we were in the kitchen. Then my mom brought the laundry basket in my room, and she looked at the cat who was eyeing the basket of laundry. She goes, "Now you leave this alone," because yes, my mom talks to the cat. And it was Marty. And when I came back in my room, all the clothes were on the floor. I'm like, "Are you kidding?" Of course, Wes. Be jealous. Go pout in the corner. So I had to try and pick all that up. I didn't have a grabber within reach of me, so I'm trying not to fall out of the wheelchair. Yeah, Kathy, I have my Simi. Currently, right now, Simi and Miha are the dogs that are in the house. So, yeah, Simi is staying. She's my emotional support. I would be lost without my Simi. So, yeah, she's staying. Yeah, anytime I had my hospital stays, I kept reaching out for the dog and she wasn't there, and I'd wake up and I'd be all anxiety attack and shit because my dog's not there, and I'm like, oh, I'm a mess. Yes, Kathy. Actually, the box from Chewy.com got here a couple days ago, and they put it 6 inches away from the door. So trying to get that in was painful, but I did it. It's in the house, so thank you. Since I still have dog food in the bin, I haven't opened the box to take the bag out yet. But my mom will help me with that. Yeah, really. I was like, I thought that was supposed to show up at the end of the month. No, it's not your fault, Kathy. I could have had the neighbor come over and move it to, closer to me or bring it in the house, but I was just like, you know what, screw it. And so I kind of turned the wheelchair sideways, braced myself on the door frame, and leaned out and pulled it towards me and got it manipulated into the house. It's just with the tendonitis, it hurt. Yeah, it came really early. Yeah, you had said that, and I was like, wait, that's not supposed to be here yet. Oh, well, it's food. Not like I'm going to send it back, So, yeah. But, so yeah, my mom will help me get it out of the box, and I'll be able to dump it in the bin that we keep the dog food. Probably sometime next week. Dog food's a little lower in the bin. No, it is much easier. It's easier on my mom too, because my mom was having to carry, the dog food bags, and my mom's up there and she's not all that strong. So she's like, "Oh, I carry the 17-pound bag of cat food all the time." And I'm like, "I don't care. It's more work for you." And I said, "You shouldn't be carrying that. You have a 16-year-old boy in your house. He should be carrying things like that for you." Although, on a good note, my mom said that my grandson this morning told her not to go get the mail, that he will check it on his way home from school when he comes down the driveway. So she's not allowed to get the mail today. She's having a hard time because it's not a big hill, but it's kind of an incline to get to the mailbox, and because of her breathing. No, Kathy, it's fine. You don't have to delay anything. Nothing's going to happen to them being in the house. So yeah, no, and it's more reassuring knowing that it's here and I don't have to panic over running out of food, for them. So, yeah. But yeah, so my grandson finally stepped up and did something. But he should be carrying groceries for my mom and, lugging bags of dog food and cat food and stuff like that. I don't know. My mom has never made my daughter, my grandson, or my granddaughter do anything for themselves. So when my mom was sick, the whole house fell apart. you know, and I'm not sure if subconsciously she did that to make them dependent on her, but I think they appreciate her a lot more now, which is good because they should have been appreciating everything she did in the first place. But you know, I told her once, I'm like, you created all those monsters. Now you have to live with them. See what you did? But yeah. Yeah, my grandson's 16. He should definitely be lugging, the bags of pet food and groceries and water, cases of water, things like that. So
Definitely, definitely.
she told me that he kind of has the same attitude as my son at this point. Like if you don't directly ask him to do it, he won't do it. And when you do directly ask him to do it, he grumbles about it. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, okay, this did not come from me. This has got to be the male side of the family or something because this is not my fault. Because I always helped my mom. I mean, hell, when I was little, I had to pick up my toys and make everything nice and neat before I was even done playing with them. And yet she's constantly telling me that the kids are leaving stuff all over the house and the house is a mess. And I'm like, to hell? I'm like, damn. Yet she'd have me up at 7:30 on a Saturday, start cleaning. Yeah, see, Kathy, it's all the guy's fault. It's all, sorry, Papa, but it's things your kids don't do right or do wrong or don't do what they're supposed to do. It's always guy's fault.
Not always. Not always.
Well, if it's a man that's a single parent, then it's the mom's fault, and I can understand that too. But being a single parent for all three of my kids, yeah, it was the father's fault, not me. I didn't do it. Not it. I mean, I always stepped up when family needed something. My grandmother, when she had to stop driving, I was 17. No, I was 18 or 19. Kathy. Okay, then. My grandmother had to stop driving because she kept having angina attacks, and the doctor was afraid that she was going to be in an accident. And she was being stubborn about it. I was 19 because I had my daughter Desiree, my oldest. And I looked at her one day. I said, "What if the person you hit is me and your granddaughter coming to visit you?" And she handed me her car keys right then and there. And so I told her, I said, "Look, I was like, I will come and pick you up for your appointments. If you need to go grocery shopping, I will come and pick you up." Because she lived probably about 20 minutes away from us, a couple towns over. I was like, "I will come and take you wherever you want to go." So she gave me her car. She actually signed it over to me and all that. So I had her car. It was a 78 Chevy Nova, 4-door, 30,000 miles on it. And I got it in 89. I only had 30,000 miles on it. I was like, hell yeah, that car rocked, man. Even though it looked like grandma's car, it kicked ass. And anytime she needed to go anywhere, she just let me know, "You are so not an angel, TG." And I would go and get her and take her to her appointments and take her shopping. And she always took me out to lunch and she always filled the gas tank. And I'm like, I have money for gas. The gas is fine. She goes, I even tried to fake her out and I'd fill the tank before I'd go get her. So she couldn't say, "Okay, we'll stop at the gas station. We'll put gas in it." I said, "Oh, it's, I got a full tank. I just put gas in it." She goes, "Oh, well, here." And she'd hand me $20. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, I'm trying to do this just to be nice. Will you stop trying to pay me? But I did accept lunch because she always took me to Friendly's, and I loved their shakes. I loved their ice cream, their milkshakes. So yeah, I caved for the lunch, but I did try to get her to not give me, buy gas or give me money for gas. I'm like, oh, but even when I wouldn't take it, she stuck it in my purse, and I found it like 2 days later. So. But yeah, we did that for up until she ended up passing away. So like 4 or 5 years, I was chauffeuring my grandma around, which was fun because I got to spend time with her. I grew up pretty much at my grandmother's house. So then when I got older and I didn't have to be babysat anymore, I didn't see her as often. So it was nice to spend time with her again. I had fun. Yeah, even waiting for her to get out of doctor's appointments. So, yeah. Yeah. A lot of happy memories from my grandmother's house, which now looks totally different than it did before because I saw it on listed on Zillow. So I went and I spied on it. I looked at all the pictures and it's totally different now. And I'm like, no, that doesn't go there. You know, like that chair's not supposed to be there. Yeah, it was freaky. They changed the whole front yard. The whole front yard used to be wide open. Now they have all these little circle gardens all over it. I'm like, my uncle would have thrown a fit because that would have been a pain in the ass to mow around. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a dozen of these circle gardens, like stone ring gardens all over the front yard. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, my aunt had one, and apparently whoever bought the house decided to add to it. I'm like, no, just no. So, but yeah, that house. When my aunt and uncle moved out and moved to South Carolina, they sold my grandmother's house for $1.5 million. Needless to say, the prices here in South Carolina are nowhere even near that. So they were pretty much bank for life after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my grandfather built that house. He designed it and he built it. He owned a construction company and did all the architecture for the streets, the houses that were on the street at the time. There were like 5 or 6 houses on my grandmother's street, and my grandfather designed and helped build all of them. And he had a certificate education. I was like, back in the day when you could actually learn something, by working a trade and make something of yourself, nowadays you got to have 18 million degrees just to get a job at freaking McDonald's. It's like, what the hell? So, oh, Kathy, that's sad. I'm sorry. Dana, I need to plant flowers. I had a planter with herbs in it, not that kind of herb. I had rosemary, and I had, what else did I have? I think I had basil, or basil, as they say in the UK. And a little inchworm ate all the leaves off my plants when they sprouted. There was one little leaf laying on the bottom of the planter, and I'm like, what the hell? And I picked up the leaf, and there was a tiny little inchworm on it, just nibbling away. I was like, here's your first slang lesson free, and threw it off my porch.
They're good about that.
I was like, are you kidding me? So I was so mad I didn't bother planting anything else. And now I wouldn't be able to get out onto the porch to take care of them. But I really did want to grow like tomatoes and my own herbs and stuff, so I had fresh things to cook with. So maybe someday I'll be able to. Now I would do them in the house, but the cats will end up eating them. So I'm like, no. Because cats like green things.
Yep.
But I like to have plants in my house. So I don't know. I mean, they say you can spray the leaves, like the underside of the leaves and stuff, with lemon water, and it will keep the animals off them. But
that's never worked for me.
I don't trust Marty. So Marty, I think, would eat just about anything. She'd be like, nope, even if I can't eat it, I'm going to shred the crap out of it. Watch me now. They do have flowers that are specifically designed for butterflies and hummingbirds.
Right.
That would be nice. Yeah, we have hummingbirds. I never knew hummingbirds made noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know
you never knew that?
I never knew that until maybe 18 or 19 years ago. And we had a tree that fell in our backyard and it got suspended up on top of other trees. And honeysuckle grew all over it. So we had this like wall of honeysuckle in the backyard. And I went out back one day and I heard this unbelievable racket. And I look over and there had to have been 30 hummingbirds. And like they were battling over all the honeysuckle and they were yelling at each other. And I'm like, holy crap, you guys are noisy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. So yeah, I never knew they made noise before that.
Yeah, when I was in Red Rock, we had a 30 foot porch all the way across the front of the house, and we had hummingbird feeders and bushes and everything all along there. and
Yeah.
it was just constant buzzing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their wings make noise. They sound like little furry bullets when they go past your head. We've had that happen. John and I used to sit on the porch wherever we've been, we've had some kind of porch. So we always used to sit outside. I miss sitting outside. And it's like they used it as a wind tunnel or something because the hummingbirds would come straight through from one side to the other and they'd go right past your head. And all you'd hear is, and you're like, whoa, hummingbird. I'm like, glad I didn't move. I'd have that impaled in the back of my head. But yeah, I never knew that they actually chirped and made a lot of noise. I was impressed. They were pretty fierce. I'm like over there going, there's more honeysuckle in the front yard on the fence, right? Like, but it was like this 30-foot wall, 30 feet long wall of honeysuckle that grew up and over this tree. And, you would think that would be enough for them all. But so TG saw a grass snake when she was out walking yesterday. Well, I hope you left it alone. They're good. My neighbor, when I was sitting in my doorway one day, was like, "You got a big ass black snake living under your house." I'm like, "Oh, that's okay. Black snakes are good. Leave them alone."
Yep.
Because Donnie does not like snakes of any kind and will kill it. We had a bunch of baby copperheads, get born underneath the tree stump that's in between my yard and the next yard over. Hey, Sandy. And he went in there with a shovel and just started smashing snakes. So I had one on my back porch. I went to put Simmy out one day, and the branch that was at the bottom steps moved when the dog stepped over it. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to grab a broom from the laundry room and shush it off the steps. And it went away from where the dog was, but it scared me because I didn't want her getting bit, So, but yeah, I have no problem with black snake because they will kill copperheads and any kind of venomous snakes, and they keep the rodent population down. So I'm fine with the snake being under there. I'm like, leave it alone. He goes, "You like that big black snake, do you?" I'm like, "Donnie," I'm like, "Don't start with me," because Donnie is black, so he can make black jokes, I guess. I'm like, okay, but I'm like, Donnie, yeah, keep yourself in control there, buddy. He's the one that offered me free pot and pie. He's still complaining about my smoking. I didn't even ask him last time. I asked his roommate Ronnie if he could run to the store for me last Saturday, and Donnie's over on the porch going, "That thing's gonna kill you." I'm like, oh, God, I can't even get away from the lectures when I don't ask him to do me the favor. Yeah, he was supposed to stop smoking weed. I guess his doctor told him to stop, and yeah, I caught him standing out next to his truck smoking a blunt. I'm like, mm-hmm. So it looks like you're listening to advice from your doctor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why he told him to stop, but his doctor told him to stop. He might just be anti-weed. It's still illegal in South Carolina. Well, Papa, I don't know, because, it's hard to get a word in edgewise when I'm sorry.
Well, I try not to disturb too much, so.
No, it's fine. If I ramble on, I've told people this before. If I ramble on or I'm dominating something, just tell me to breathe, and I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, go ahead." I don't get offended if you say it nicely. Now, if someone says, "Could you shut the fuck up, please?" then I might get a little touchy. But if you just say, "Kodi, breathe," I realize, it brings my attention to the fact that I ramble, because I know I ramble, but I don't know, Kathy. I don't know why he would tell. It's still illegal in the state, and some doctors are sticklers, and they just, yeah. I don't know.
So for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, this brown M&M labeled J is Papa Smurf.
Yeah, Papa's on my panel. Papa's on my panel.
Surprise!
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise! Papa came to visit. Yay! Kathy's like, "Oh shit."
And for the right amount of money, I will turn my camera on for half a second, maybe. Maybe.
Hey, they bribed me. I think it was Paul Antonelli bribed me into turning my camera on. He said he would donate money to a benefit that we were trying to raise money for, which turned out to be a lie. But he he said he would donate $10 if I turned my camera on. So I put my mask on and I turned the camera on, and then he said he would donate another $10 if I take the mask off. And I'm like, you really just. And I mean, if I hadn't done it, I would have seemed like the biggest bitch that I didn't want this person to have that money. You know what I mean? So I had to. So he created a monster. It's all Paul's fault. See, there you go. Kathy, she had no clue. She said you sounded like Papa Smurf in her head.
I really sound like Papa Smurf? Surely, maybe. I don't
know. You don't. Thank you, TG. Dana,
I have a white beard like Papa Smurf. So.
Do you? But Papa Smurf didn't have the Southern accent,
right?
So, yeah, Dana doesn't turn her camera on. She uses an avatar sometimes, like a moving avatar, but she doesn't turn her camera on. We're not auctioning off Papa Smurf. I know. I was like, but Dana. Sorry. Dana should turn her camera on, though. She should. Toilet Girl with Santa Claus. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, Kathy grew up in the South, so Papa Smurf in her head does have a Southern accent. So there you go.
Well, Kathy, I'm a Austin, Texas born native. Been here all my life and don't ever plan on leaving. So Texas accent all the way.
TJ. Sandy is trying to auction you off starting at $5. TG wants to know why she's starting so high. This is not...
TG, I was Santa Claus in an elementary school play in 1964 and played Santa for the patients at the nursing home where my grandmother was. Uh-oh, did we lose Kodi? I think we lost Kodi.
I'm here. I'm just messing with a plastic bag, so I didn't want the noise to see. The noise is irritating, so I didn't want it to bother anybody. So I'm muted temporarily. Oh, please, Dana. If I can come on camera, anybody can go on camera. You know what I'm saying? Because a beauty queen, I am not.
Nah. My problem is I haven't shaved or trimmed my hair in a couple of months now, so I'm pretty ragged.
TG said she loves the Southern twang. Well, twanging is... But TG is in the UK, so I imagine American accents are like how we hear British accents. It sounds very different to them than it does to us, you know?
Right.
I had my friend Nikki that lives in England. She's like, I don't have an accent. I'm like, yes, you do. She goes, I do not. I sound just like everyone else. And I'm like, yeah, in England, maybe. Yeah. Man. I lived in Texas for 3 months. I lived in Temple, Texas, where you couldn't go anywhere without hitting a church. There were way too many churches in that town.
Yeah.
Oh, way too many. And all the counties around it were dry. I'm like, what the hell? I was not happy. Although their crack business was booming, but there was no booze to be found. I'm like, that makes sense. That's where my Nova got smashed, was in Temple, Texas.
Yeah.
The man I was with hit a 79 Chevy Nova.
Dang.
So, thanks for that. Yeah. Yeah, you do not love Victoria's English accent, TG. Don't even lie, because you know she doesn't do it well. My Simpsons. You decided to wake up. That's my Simmy.
Hi, Simmy. Hi, Simmy. You hear a new voice?
Yeah, she pays no attention to anything on the computer at all. There could be dogs barking, cats meowing. She's oblivious to all of it. She pays absolutely no attention to anything going on. Yet, let that Rottweiler next door come outside on his porch, and she's right up there looking out the window. Yeah. Ugh, another hunter I heard from. Jeez, Klingon kitty. I tried to just move her across my lap so she'd keep going, but nope. She went up instead of over. Oh, wow, Kathy. Wow. Ugh, cat. Boomerang kitty. Go away. Be gone.
I hope you have a copy of that article, Kathy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My dog is actually asking permission to go get some water, and there's none in the bowl. So I almost want to be cruel and tell her to go ahead because she'll get down there, the bowl's empty, and then she'll leave me alone for a little while. This cat. But come on, back up, back up, back up. You, that way. Now the cat's harassing the dog. Oh, this will go over well. Oh, you do have a copy of it. That's cool. Wow. Yeah, all my grandparents are gone, and my dad's gone. I still have my mom. My grandparents in Canada went a long time ago because my father was from Canada. He was Canadian, and he was the biggest asshole of a Canadian you've ever met in your life. All that Canadians are all really nice and sweet. Yeah, my dad broke that mold. He was a male chauvinist racist, and he wasn't a very nice person. They lost a lot of friends because my dad started getting an attitude to everybody. Even family didn't want to come over and visit because of my dad, you know. But the last 2 years of his life, he seemed to do a turnaround. And I was like, who are you? And what have you done with my father? And then he got pneumonia, and he never recovered from it. And I was like, it's almost like he knew he wasn't going to be around much longer. So he started trying to make up for being such a jerk, which was a good effort, but doesn't really make up for traumatizing my childhood, you know? Oh, wow, TG, your granddad's 90 in a few weeks. Nice. My mom is 89, so, you know, she was 30 when they adopted me. I did not ever look up my birth parents. It doesn't, I mean, I was born in 1969, and that time in history was very chaotic with people going off to war and coming back and not coming back. And I'd rather think of it as maybe a girl that was too young that, you know, gave her soldier boyfriend the great send-off and found out that he left a little present behind and never came back or whatever, because she couldn't keep me, rather than she's some chick in a bar. Yep, 69. Rather than she's some chick in a bar going, hey, sailor, buy me a drink. You know what I mean? So I really just didn't even want to bother with that. So no, I've never really been curious. I figured she's the one that gave me away. If she wants to find me, she will. I'm a badass. How are you feeling? Amy was sick. Well, Amy is sick. She was in the ER yesterday.
Oh, no.
I hope you're feeling better, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, TJ. That's good. Yeah, my dad was, well, I know he lied about his age to get into the Canadian Air Force. He actually went in when he was 17 and you weren't supposed to. He flew a plane. That's confidence inspiring. He flew a canvas plane. Could you even imagine flying a plane that's made of canvas? His nickname was Crash. And I know his nickname was Crash because I found a piece of the plane, the last plane that he flew. I found it in our attic when I was a kid, and it said, hey, Crash, gladly she survived another one, and all of the people in his unit signed it. I asked my mom, I was like, what is this? She goes, put that back. I'm like, oh my God. She scared the crap out of me. apparently he did not like to talk about it. But my dad was in World War II.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, my dad never would talk about, what he did over there. I knew very little.
yeah, was it World
All,
War II?
all, all I, all I knew is that by the time my dad got shipped over, uh, was on D-Day. So instead of fighting, he got to just round up all the Germans and take them to prisoner camps.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in. I almost was like, was it World War II? Or was it World War One? But I think he was way too young in 1914 to
Yeah.
1918. I think he was still too young for that. So he was. But he was born in the early 1900s. You know, first part of that century. Um, yeah, I don't know what he did. I know he flew a plane, and I'm not sure if he flew a plane in combat, but I would assume that he did. Um, but that, I mean, I can't even imagine how terrifying that would be in a camp. I mean, it's terrifying enough in a regular plane, you know, but to be in one made of canvas, you know, like craziness.
Well, it's still just as strong as what you would think of a plane today. I mean, the canvas doesn't let air through, and it's
Hmm.
just as aerodynamic. So
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very stiff canvas. It's treated with all kinds of crap to make it,
yeah,
hold shape and everything. But just the thought of canvas versus metal, you know what I mean? When you think of it in your head, canvas versus metal, it's fabric
well,
versus metal. You're like,
just think too. The framework under that canvas was mostly wood. It wasn't metal
yeah,
staving either. It was
yep.
wood. So
So, I mean, he was pretty brave for an asshole. You know what I mean? Still, though, he was just such a grumpy ass. He really was. My everybody during the blizzard of '78, my neighbor had all this snow piled up behind their house because their house made like an L in the back, and so all the snow piled up in the one corner. So they were climbing up on the roof and jumping into this massive snow pile. And I wanted to go do it. And he goes, "Girls, don't do that." I'm like, "What?" Because half of the neighbors were girls, And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Girls don't do that. There's certain things girls can do and girls can't do, and they don't climb up on roofs." And I'm like, then why are they doing it? Well, we lost Papa. Um, and I got in a big argument with him. I think how old was I? 78. I was 8. No, I was 7. I got in an argument with him at 7 years old over him being a male chauvinist. It has always been a nature versus nurture thing with me. Because I don't act like either one of my parents. My mom is very what do people think kind of orientated. Like you can't wear that out. What are people going to think? Or like she doesn't want me putting all the stuff that's in my background, all the boxes and totes. She doesn't want me putting them in the living room because what would people think? I'm like, what people? Nobody comes to my house. She goes, well, the landlord might come in. I'm like, the landlord's usually high. I don't think he's going to care as long as it's neat. Oh no. Well, thank you for coming on the panel, Papa. I'm sorry it overheated and shut down. Oh, Kodi killed Papa's phone. But she does want to put everything, use the small room as storage, which I can understand. And using the living room will give me more room anyway. So I'm all for that. I'm just irritated that we've started moving everything into that room. Well, we've got quite a few. There's like 6 boxes in there and the kitchen table that I use. And yeah, Amy, you're not allowed to use power tools of any kind, and I would stay off the roof if I were you. And fire. Be careful of fire. So, we're switching the uses of rooms around a little bit. But again, she's always been like, what will people think? What will people think? And I've always been, who gives a fuck what people think? It's just always been that way. My dad was all girls can't do that. And I'm like, I can do whatever the hell I want. So that's going to be the new headline. Yeah. So, I've always been at odds with the way they think, and I've always just been me. Yeah, it takes up a lot of bandwidth and everything and RAM and all that fun stuff, Papa. Although you didn't even have your camera on, so it shouldn't have done that. But you did. You were on for quite a while, so it's another reason I don't use my phone. It's because I've heard of all these people having problems with their phones overheating. Well, your phone might not have liked being live, but we loved having you live. So tell your phone to suck it. Behave next time. The only thing I ever was concerned about other people, or other people's thoughts were concerned, was when I ate out in public. I didn't like people looking at me because I'm a big person. So the only thing in my thought is no matter what I eat, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, does she really need to eat that?" Or "Oh my God, I bet this is like the 5th time she's eaten," you know. And then I finally was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck, you know. So I got over that quickly. What was funny is John and I would take the kids to the Chinese food buffet, and that skinny man who weighed like 152 pounds and he was 6'2" would eat like 4 or 5 plates of food, and I'm sitting there and I'd eat like 2. You know, the kids are chowing down on everything in sight, and I'm the one eating the least amount of food at the table, and I'm the biggest person there. So I was just, you know, I stopped caring. So I've never really been ever really what are other people going to think, because they're going to think whatever they want anyway, and I can't control their thoughts. I can only control my actions, so I'll do whatever the hell I want that makes me feel good. So there you go. As long as it's not harming anyone else, nobody else should have a problem with it. Yeah, Sandy, I hear that. I do. And it makes being bigger right now, especially, makes it more difficult for me to move around with the loss of a leg. So, but I can only eat what I can afford, and healthier foods are more expensive. And especially where my mom bought my groceries this time, I wasn't gonna load up on, you know, costing her a lot of money. I did as economic, and she still bought me extra stuff, although it wasn't healthy. She got me ice cream and chocolate cream pie, but she said I need treats because otherwise life is just too depressing. And I'm like, I love you, Mom. So yeah, we do what we do. I only eat once a day anyway, so even eating stuff that's not all that healthy for me isn't, I mean, it's not benefiting. I do have my vegetables, and I do eat vegetables 3 or 4 times a week. So, aw, Kathy, thank you. I do get the vegetables in 3 or 4 times a week. I make sure, because I went for, you know, over a year with my son's thought of vegetables being French fries, that I was craving green vegetables. I was like, oh my God, I need asparagus or broccoli or something. My body was obviously needing vitamin K, and so I finally, when I was able to do grocery order, I got the frozen vegetables, and then getting him to make them was another struggle, but he did occasionally make them. And green beans, I like green beans, and peas. I love peas. A lot of people don't like peas. My son hates peas, which worked for me because that means he wouldn't eat any of my peas. He doesn't like the texture. He said they made his teeth feel funny. I'm like, with all the crap you stick in your mouth, that makes your teeth feel funny? Okay. But hey, it works for me. My oldest daughter is also addicted to peas. She loves peas. So me and her used to fight over the bowl of peas. My dad would be like, Francis, can you call me to the table first so that I can get peas before everybody else? Hey, Lucky. Yeah, because he wouldn't get any. It was always fun in our house, you know? I know, Kathy. You're awesome. And here in South Carolina, they just like everything with grits, gravy, and a lot of butter. So I actually do not like grits. I don't. I wasn't raised on them, so I guess it's like an acquired taste, but I don't like them. Hi, Maggie. Yeah, grits, gravy, and butter. Butter. Yep, Lucky. Actually, I found out yesterday. Lucky does not live too far from me. He's a couple of counties over. Yep. I was like, "Why are you wearing a South Carolina shirt?" It's like, "Because I live in South Carolina." I was like, "Holy crap, where?" Yep, not too far from me. Well, Kathy loves helping people. I know she bought a bunch of home health and beauty stuff from Larry yesterday to be able to donate to her shelters that she helps out. And grits with butter and Splenda. Ugh. John liked grits. He loved grits. Now he grew up in California and Washington State, and he loved grits. Crackling cornbread, black eyed peas, okra, you name it, good old Southern food. Yeah, okra. Every instance, an example of okra I have come across has been slimy. I will not touch okra. I don't really like black eyed peas. I don't like cornbread. I can deal with if it's made right. If it's too dry, oh no, I'm not putting the Sahara Desert in my mouth. Yeah, just I've never gotten near fried okra, and it's not something that was ever on my. I mean, I grew up in Massachusetts, so we didn't have okra. Yeah, see, I don't pollute my shrimp with too much. I like shrimp with butter. I like shrimp Alfredo, and that's about it. Bye, Amy. I hope you feel better, honey. So I mean, the differences in dishes. I mean, even they had a show that they had people in England trying very popular American snacks. Um, and they were horrified. They were like, "How can you people eat this?" But it's stuff to us that we don't even think about. We love it, and you know, I do. Sandy depends on the canned good. So much stuff comes in a can nowadays. But I do use like green beans. I can deal with canned green beans, canned carrots, canned corn. I cannot deal with canned peas. Canned peas they are so gross. I do not like the taste of canned peas, but I carrots and green beans and asparagus I can deal with those. Oh, fried pea. Oh yeah. Now we've cooked green beans with bacon and garlic. Like boiled it with butter and garlic and bacon, and it's really good. Yeah, I love shrimp Alfredo. Sorry, Kathy. Well, even when Tina's not here, we end up talking about food. And hi, Jennifer. So, I have not tried cauliflower rice. I haven't eat. I actually didn't try cauliflower itself until about 5 years ago. And as long as there's enough butter on it, it's not bad. I like it. But I've never tried the rice. I've never tried cauliflower made into anything. I know they make pizza dough with it, like pizza crust with it. They make all kinds of stuff with cauliflower now. But to me, cauliflower always looked like brains, and I couldn't bring myself to eat it. Um, but a friend of mine from back in the AOL days sent me a Schwann's gift box um, when I was having the health problems with my heart and my the fluid retention when I was living with my son in the other house. Mashed cauliflower. Nope, I haven't. Um, and it had a lot of the like ready to eat meals that you microwave. And oh, cool. Yeah, I gotta have butter, and I will not use margarine or any of that fake crap. It's got to be butter. I don't eat plastic, and more chemicals in my system I don't need. So I use real butter in moderation. Um, but some of the little microwave meals that got sent had cauliflower in them. It had cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, and potatoes. And I was just like, I was so hungry. I was like, screw it, and I ate it, and it actually wasn't that bad. So that was good. Problem is, Schwann's is so expensive. I wouldn't have a problem ordering from Schwann's, but they're so expensive that I can't afford it. Yeah, real butter. As long as you don't overdo it with the real butter, you're fine. And like, I only eat once a day, so how the hell am I going to overdo it, right? I'm not supposed to have a lot of sodium either, and I will put a little bit of salt on my food, but I'm like, I'm getting one serving of salt a day, so I think I'm good. Same with my carbs. I'm supposed to be allowed so many carbs a day, and I don't even come close to eating that in one meal. So, well, that's cool. Rice cauliflower for your stir fries. I can't do stir fry. I mean, I can cook on this in a skillet. Yeah, and things like cauliflower and broccoli has to be soft because all my teeth are broken. So yeah, I agree, Kathy. In moderation is better than fake. I'm so hungry now. Sorry, Jennifer. I have never tried the cauliflower-based pizza. I just know they exist. But I will actually be having some asparagus today with my mashed potatoes and my chicken strips, which I tried to get my mom to get the grilled and ready Tyson diced chicken. It's roasted chicken and it's cut up because it doesn't have the coating on it, but she couldn't find it, insisted it didn't exist at her Walmart. And I'm like, but you bought it for me before and complained that it was $7 for a little bag, but the little bag lasts me, no watermelon pizza. The little bag lasts me like 5 meals. So Jennifer lives off rice pudding. I don't like rice pudding. It looks like it has eyeballs in it. John loved rice pudding, tapioca pudding, things like that. And I couldn't even make it for him because it just looked so icky to me. Wow, I sidetracked myself. I forgot what I was saying. Jennifer, he sidetracked me. Oh, she got me chicken strips instead, and they're the Southern style chicken strips. So they do have the coating on it. But I cut that up and I put it in with I made my own chicken bowl. Like they have at KFC, only mine had mashed potatoes, asparagus, and chicken. Oh yeah, tapioca looks like rice, like eyeballs. Well, I don't know. Favorite pizza in Italy, tuna, whoops, lost it. I saw tuna fish on pizza with onions. So good. Weird. Interesting. Did you use like a tomato-based sauce with that, or was it like an Alfredo or garlic Parmesan type of sauce? Kathy, tapioca was my favorite until I learned how to make it. Yeah, the ready-made foods that you microwave, they do have a lot of sodium in them. The Stouffer stuff always seems to have a chemical taste to me. I'll eat it, but I don't exactly love it. The Marie Callender stuff is really tasty. It's a lot more tastier than the Stouffer's. It's just a little more expensive, I think. But I get those, like the chicken pot pies, because they have a multitude. They have carrots and peas in them. And they do have celery, which I don't like celery, but I deal with it because they're good. But the ready-made meals have a lot of sodium in them, a lot. Hey, Donna. Hey, Donna heard bacon. So I can't really imagine mixing tuna with pizza sauce. Oh, nice, Papa. Now I want a turkey bacon wrapped asparagus, right? Bacon wrapped anything is good. Yep. Now when I'm able to get pizza, which I haven't been able to get pizza in so long, Tina got me on this thing. She mentioned that she had gotten from Domino's. Oh, Donna, I'm sorry. She had gotten pizza, but she had them do the garlic Parmesan sauce instead of pizza sauce, and then it was really good. So I was like, huh. I'm like, well, the pizza I usually get will actually work with that sauce. I'll just keep off the pineapples. Because yes, I'm one of those people that likes pineapples on your pizza. depending on what the other toppings are. Oh, scallops are so good. So I ordered it, and oh my god, it was the bomb. I was like, okay, this is my new favorite pizza. And unfortunately, I think I was able to order the pizza like 4 times after that, and twice they used Alfredo sauce instead of the garlic Parmesan sauce. I'm like, do you people not have things labeled? You know, it still was good, but it didn't have that kick to it. And I like the garlic Parmesan sauce because I get chicken, mushrooms, and sometimes roasted red peppers on it, and sometimes spinach. And so the garlic Parmesan sauce works really well with that. It's okay. Hey, sports guy, it's okay with the Alfredo sauce. It's just not quite the same. But I haven't been able to get it in a really long time, and now I crave it. Thanks for bringing that up. I brought it up myself, but now it's Dana's fault. Dana brought up. Well, no, actually, I brought up pizza, didn't I? Because I said cauliflower pizza. Okay, it's my fault. But yeah, I used to make homemade pizzas. I'd use the Pillsbury little the biscuits that you get in the can, and you let them warm up a little bit so they're stretchy, and you make little mini pizzas. And I put the spaghetti sauce, the pasta sauce on it, pizza sauce, and then I put the grilled chicken and mushrooms and pineapple on it. It's so good. Yeah, it's all my fault. I did it. Sorry. I'm making everybody hungry. Sorry. Yeah, it's really good. So now I left the pineapple out because the pineapple, in my head, the pineapple really didn't work with the garlic Parmesan sauce because it's too sweet. It counters with the savory, pizza sauce, but it doesn't work with the garlic. So I leave that off, but I do the other, and now I want one. I'm like, oh. But yeah, a lot of people don't like pineapple on their pizza. And I'm good with that as long as they don't yell at me for putting it on mine. They don't have to eat it. John was always an advocate of no pineapple. He was team no pineapple on pizza until he was hungry one day, and I was like, well, you can have a piece of my pizza. He goes, it's got pineapple on it. I said, then don't eat. And so he ended up eating a piece, and then he ate the rest of my pizza, and I was kind of pissed. But so after that, he started ordering different, hey Ken, different pizzas and putting pineapple on it. Yeah. Well, pineapple actually works with the roasted chicken too. I think those are about the only two things for me that it would work with. But with the ham, it's hard for me because Domino's puts large pieces of ham on their pizzas, and I can't bite through them. It's harder for me. I can chew them once they're in my mouth, but because of my front teeth, I can't bite through the piece of ham. So I end up with this huge piece of ham hanging off my face, and yeah, it makes a mess. So I don't get ham on my pizza anymore unless I make it myself and I use like the ham chunks, and I can do that. Oh, your husband doesn't like fruit salad? Oh my God. My mom made the most amazing salad one day, and she didn't have tomatoes or anything. What she had was apples and lettuce and cheddar cheese. That's all she had. And so she actually chunked up apples and cheddar cheese and mixed it with the lettuce, and it was one of the best salads I've ever had in my life. It was so good. Oh no, you had bad experience with them. Yeah, they screw up sometimes here. But they did pretty good the last few times. I just haven't been able to get pizza in a couple of months, so it's the only one I can afford because they have that $5.99 deal. If you get more than one thing, you get it for $5.99. Because I have to get pan pizza because it's easier for me to eat. Regular pizzas, the crusts are too tough for me to get through, and those are more expensive. And yeah, so and then with all the toppings I put on them, they get. I priced one once, and my pizza would have cost me almost $20 for my pizza. But with the $5.99 deal, if I get my chicken carbonara, which I usually always get a chicken carbonara, and then I get my pizza, and I'll eat my chicken carbonara, and I'll save the pizza, and so I have something to eat for the next day or two. I make my food last as long as I can. Let me tell you. You know, I did price my pizza once just how it would be, and it was almost $20. With buying 2 items, it comes to $10.07 instead of like 17 something, and I'm like, holy crap! Definitely sticking with the 2 for $5.99 a piece deal. And my daughter likes ordering from Papa John's. I will not order from Papa John's because the guy that owns it or owned it was a big game hunter. He was a trophy hunter, and I won't support that in any way, shape, or form. So, no. And they also do not treat their employees very well. Yeah, Kathy, I can understand that too. But it's just the thinner crusts are harder for me to bite into because all the teeth on the top of my mouth are broken that I have left, and I'm missing 2 in the front. So biting into anything is very difficult. But the last person that came to deliver Domino's, she was so sweet. She was like, "Well, the sodas are," because I had to get sodas too. I had no soda. She goes, "The sodas are kind of heavy. Do you want me to put them in the house for you?" And I'm thinking, Mija, no, because Mija didn't know this person. I'm like, no. I was like, "Oh no, I'm okay." But she was very sweet and very helpful, so that was nice. I feel bad. I can usually only give them about a $2 tip, and I feel bad. If it's raining, I try and squeeze out $3 for a tip if they have to come out in the rain. But I know they get paid hourly too, so yeah, Sandy, we have Domino's. I have a Domino's that's like 10 minutes away from me. It takes them about 10, 15 minutes if they don't have any other stops to get here. Southern Portuguese mac and cheese. It's very rare that I've had macaroni and cheese that wasn't out of a box. Anytime I've ordered macaroni and cheese or it's come with a meal, the macaroni is so overcooked that it's mush, and I can't stand mushy pasta. I mean, I can't eat it now if it's al dente, but it needs to be cooked. You know what I mean? My son usually didn't get the pasta cooked all the way. His pasta was always al dente, and it was hard for me to eat. But I don't like it to be that soft stuff like what you get from Chef Boyardee. How their pasta is just like mush. Yeah, any place we've got to eat that macaroni has come with the meal. It's just been too bleh. So. Donna, now you're pushing me over the edge, Cappy. Yeah. One of the things I miss cooking is the chicken dish that I do with I put it in a roasting pan and no, off me. Put it in a roasting. I need a break from homeschooling is tough. Yeah. It's chicken breasts, and you coat them in olive oil, and you cut up red potatoes, and you can use baby carrots, or you can cut up carrots, and you coat the potatoes and the carrots with a mixture of olive oil, rosemary, thyme, and garlic powder. And then you just dump them in with the chicken, like around the outside edges, and you bake it until it's done. Depending on how many vegetables I put in it and how big the chicken breasts are, the time varies. But it's at like 425, and you cover it and you vent it and you just bake it. And it is so good. The chicken just falls apart. The carrots are nice and soft. The potatoes are cooked through, and it's so good. And it's healthy. It's actually something healthy. I got that recipe out of the American Heart Association cookbook for low fat, no sodium, no salt, low fat cooking. And it's one of the best recipes that I got out of that book, and I love it. And I can't make it because I can't use my oven. Although I can make it in the crock pot once I can afford all the ingredients. I'm out of garlic powder. Apparently my son used all the garlic powder. And I do still have, hey, Christy, I do still have, rosemary and thyme. But yeah, absolutely lucky. the crock pot's going to be a lot easier for me to deal with because cooking for me in the wheelchair is difficult. It's I can't cook anything in a pot because I can't see into it. I can cook stuff in a frying pan or a skillet, but I can't cook in anything with high side on it. So boiling water is definitely out of the question because my counters are also kind of high. So transporting any hot liquids or anything could be dangerous because it is at such an awkward angle, and my tendonitis is acting up so bad I don't want to drop it. But I do have an absolutely fabulous crock pot thanks to Christy. I love you, Christy. She let me use her Kohl's Cash a while back, and I was able to get a crock pot and a rice cooker and all kinds of cool stuff, and my big fluffy sweatshirt that I absolutely love, and my Harry Potter shirt that says Mischief Managed. So me. Sorry, Jennifer. Donna, crock pot mac and cheese is going down here tomorrow. So once I'm able to get the things and get the kitchen organized so that I can put things where I can reach it, I will be able to use my crock pot to make other dishes because I used to make a pork tenderloin in the crock pot, and I'd put butter and a little bit of water and garlic powder and salt and pepper, and I just cook it and it would just fall apart. It was so good. Yeah, the sports guy got a roast in the crock pot right now. So, but cooking on the stove, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the wheelchair, and I have to, you have to keep an eye on stuff you're cooking, and yeah, mine is too. Actually, I haven't eaten today, so and I ate early yesterday, so it's been over 24 hours since I've had something to eat. It's just about, I got another 50 minutes or so, and then I'm out of here and I'm gonna go get food. Donna's going to get a snack. Yeah, I bet Paul's house smells great. Yeah, eat some for us. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That would be fun. We'd have groovy times. So yeah, using the oven is a little awkward because I can't open my oven door right now all the way because the table that my son has his damn fryer on is in the way. And I'm not moving it, and possibly because it's just one of those little folding TV tables. I'm not going to try and move that heavy ass thing and have that table collapse and have cooking oil go all over my floor and me. So I can't open the oven door all the way, and even when I can, sitting in the wheelchair and trying to reach into the oven, a little dangerous. I definitely don't need to deal with burns, so. Kids and wife came home, smelled it before they opened the door. Well, at least it was a good smell. But yeah. So once the kitchen finishes getting organized, we still have one wall of stuff that, over the years things just got thrown over there, not by me, because none of it's my stuff. That we have to go through and get through. And then under the cabinets, which is a mess because things just got all jumbled around in there. And then I'll be able to organize things a little better because I can't put the crock pot or the rice cooker up on the counter because my counters are too high and I wouldn't be able to use it. So I do have a low dresser out there that is piled with stuff right now. My crock pot is actually on it. It's still in the box though. So it wouldn't get wrecked because I wasn't going to take it out of the box while the roommates were here, and I didn't want my son to make a mess and not clean it, so it stayed in the box. So I'm gonna use that as kind of a lower counter, and there is a plug over there, but my son's fryer has to get out of the way first. But then I'll use that as my cooking station for my crock pot, rice cooker, things like that. Yeah, Kathy. Yep. Almost time to search the kitchen. So Donna got her snack. I used to love those. Donna, I used to love those. Donna sent me a picture of what she's eating, and I used to love those cookies. I did. Ooh, Christy, I love pancakes. My son ate all the syrup in this house, so we have no syrup. He left some of the pancake mix behind that he had gotten. That he said he was going to make us pancakes. I never got any. I found the box pancake mix, but one, I don't know if I trust it, and two, I have no syrup, so no, it's not happening. And syrup isn't really something that I would use all that often, so I'm not gonna put it on my grocery list. Yep, breakfast for dinner is awesome. I told my mom I was gonna have ice cream for dinner, and she started laughing. She goes, "You still have ice cream left?" I'm like, "I still have both of them left." Then she goes, "Oh my god, your self control is amazing." So yeah, she remembers we used to during the summer months, like once a week, every couple of weeks, we'd go to the ice cream place and have ice cream for dinner. Um, yeah, practice husbands. Yeah, I'm still practicing apparently because I'm still married to mine. Hi, Michael. He pops in every once in a while on my lives. He lives in Massachusetts, so we get along great. He's very far away. Oh, that's nice, Lucky. That's really nice. When I worked loss prevention, if I had late days, I always appreciated if John made dinner because John was a really good cook. Um, so yeah, distance is the key. Because believe me, after walking around Walmart all day, the last thing or night, the last thing you want to do is come home and start cooking. My feet and my back would be killing me so bad. So it was really nice when I'd come home and he'd be like, "Here's your dinner." I'm like, "Oh my god, I love you." Sorry, I have to pour soda into my smaller bottle, and I am officially, as soon as the smaller bottle is empty, I will officially be out of carbonated liquid, which is gonna suck. I hate water, but it's what I got. And at least I won't go be all dry mouth and dehydrated, right? Well, John was a good cook. I was a better cook, but John was a good cook. Jennifer. And here's that moment of awkward silence we all know and love on Kodi's show. Jennifer, I'm so sorry. She cooks things I can't pronounce. That's funny. Like beef bourguignon. That takes a lot to make. That is a huge process to make beef bourguignon. Aw, Cappy. That sucks. He should have made food for you. If he could cook. See, we didn't allow Issa to cook because none of us wanted to die. Oh, Jennifer. Nice, Christy. That's that farm living for you, you know? Yeah, Joan's wife Issa could not cook. I mean, we were lucky she managed to not kill us with boxes of macaroni and cheese. She actually could cook macaroni and cheese out of the box. I was amazed. But she managed to do it. Now, she insisted one year that she wanted to make Thanksgiving dinner because John and I always cook Thanksgiving dinner together. And she was getting upset because we wouldn't let her help because none of us, again, wanted to die. So she started bragging about how good of a cook she was and she could cook a turkey that was delicious and da 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 da. And I looked at John. I was like, we're going to end up going for Chinese food if she cooks dinner. He was like, well, marital harmony. I'm like, what marital harmony? You guys are the poster children for divorce. But I was like, fine, let her cook it. I'll enjoy Chinese food just as much, as slaving over the stove all day. And we let her cook it. Yep. We went out for Chinese. Hey, Wes. Um, she's such a good cook that she knows how to cook turkey perfectly that she didn't know that you had to baste it. So when John went to cut into the turkey, it fell apart like dust. It was, you could have just scooped up sand and eaten it and it would have tasted the same. It was horrible. The potatoes were lumpy and disgusting. The whole meal was right. The only good thing was the biscuits, and I made those. So, yeah, we went out for Chinese food. So it was a good dinner. But yeah, that was the Thanksgiving. She invited her little friend over, who tried to kick my dog. So her friend almost got a flying lesson over my fence. I was like, "Do not raise your foot to my dog ever." She goes, "Well, she's near me." I'm like, "Because you're in her house." She grabbed her collar and yanked on her collar. My dog was coughing for half an hour. I was like, "Don't touch my dog." I'm like, That's one thing you don't do. Don't come into my house and abuse my animal. I will hurt you. So, yeah, needless to say, me and her friend didn't get along. And her friend was not invited to Chinese. She got sent home. We were like, "Sorry, dinner was ruined," and da-da-da. See you later, bye. And she left, and I looked at them. I said, "Can we go have Chinese food dinner now?" And we did. Asa was like, "Why didn't you invite my friend to dinner?" I was like, "Because your friend's a jerk who tried to kick my dog." I don't feed people who try and kick my dog. Nope. Poor Simmy. Yeah, Wes, did you get your cat food and a cat litter and a phone cord? Right. So yeah, then she was bragging that she knew how to cook shrimp Alfredo or shrimp scampi. She's like, "I can cook shrimp scampi." I'm like, "Really? Okay." I'm like, "Well, I'll go get, we have shrimp, so go ahead. We have shrimp, we have butter, we have garlic. Make it." She goes, "That's not how you make it." I'm like, I'm sorry, what?" She goes, "Well, you need the powdered mix." And I'm like, "What powdered mix are you talking about?" Because she worked at Red Lobster. By the way, Red Lobster shrimp scampi, the scampi part comes out of a powder. That's how they make it. They mix it with water and they heat it up. That's it. So yeah, that's not cooking. Um, I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, "Woman, that's not cooking." She goes, "Yes, it is. It's at a restaurant." I'm like, "Oh my God." So yeah, needless to say, um, she made cookies once for Christmas right after John met her. Well, it wasn't right after because she was living with him at the time, and he brings over this plastic container, like little Rubbermaid, little Glad container, and there were these things in it. And I'm like, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, Issa made lard cookies." And I'm like, "She made what?" He goes, "She made lard cookies for Christmas." And I'm like, "Huh." He goes, "Go ahead, try it." Yeah, I took one little bite. I was like, "Nope." And I dropped one by accident, and the dogs come running over, sniffed it, and they turned around and walk away. I was like, "Okay, if the dogs won't even eat that, it's not good." So yeah, nope. Um, Yet she was this wonderful baker, and her cupcakes were fantastic. She's like, "I make the best cupcakes," and John goes, "Well, sucks. I hate cupcakes, then, doesn't it?" I was like, "Oh my God!" But like 2 years later, I made cupcakes, and he ate like five of them, and she was so pissed off. I was like, "You said you didn't like cupcakes, so that's why I made them, so you wouldn't eat any of them." And as he's shoving one in his mouth, he goes, "But yours are good." Uh, yeah. This is why I'm glad that the guy that Issa moved in with, that she lives with, knows how to cook. Because I know Talon's not starving to death. You know what I mean? And he's eating healthier than he would be if it was his mom. I mean, Issa would stop at a store on the way to take him to school and get him candy. He'd be eating candy all the way to school, and then she'd be mad because he'd get in trouble at school for not sitting still. I'm like, duh. So, and she'd give him cookies for breakfast. I'm like, no. So I used to get up in the morning and go out there and make him, scrambled eggs or whatever. Scrambled eggs or fried eggs or whatever. He always ate whatever I cooked. He didn't like his mom's cooking, but he always ate whatever I cooked. Okay, Sandy, have a good day. Thank you for coming in. Um, and his auntie was magic because he wouldn't drink. I was like, telling you need to drink some milk because he wasn't getting really much calcium in his diet. I was like, you need to drink some milk. And he goes, don't like milk. I was like, I bet you'll drink it if I make it. He goes, how do you make milk, auntie? I'm like, well, that's a whole story for when you're older, but and that factory is closed. But watch. So I got the chocolate milk mix out and I made chocolate milk and I gave it to him. And he goes, oh, auntie, you're magic. You made chocolate milk from regular milk. He was like 4 at the time. It was just so cute. So yeah. Talon used to sit and watch me make food all the time when I was cooking and chopping vegetables and doing assembly prep work and all that. He used to watch me all the time. It was me and Tiny T-Rex time. I liked it. I miss him. So yeah, I also got him addicted to the little white mushrooms that you get in little blue packets at blue containers at Walmart. He ate like an entire package of those. We got two containers of them because I was going to be using them over the next couple of days because I make a sauteed mushroom and onion burger and I put mozzarella cheese on mine. And John would put like cheddar, Colby Jack or whatever on his, and Issa, I don't know what she put on hers. I don't really care. And so we got it for that. And I was going to be making spaghetti, and I always put mushrooms in the spaghetti sauce. And I went in the next day to get the stuff to make burgers, and one of the containers of mushrooms was empty. It had one mushroom left in it. I'm like, what the hell? Now, the only ones in the house were me, John, Issa, and Talon. So I'm like, I looked at John. I'm like, did you use the mushrooms? And he's like, no, those are for dinner. And I'm like, right. But I'm asking anyway. He goes, no. And Issa's like, I don't even like mushrooms. Yeah, that's why she used to eat everything I made with mushrooms in it. And we all turned around and looked at Talon, and he's standing there with these huge cartoon-like eyes, just like, uh-oh. And Issa started to yell at him, and I was like, stop. And she like looked at me. I was like, just wait. I was like, Talon, honey, did you eat the mushrooms? And he's like, uh-huh, they were good. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, thank you for leaving us one. And okay, Kathy, pictures. I got more pictures, Wes. Haha. And I was like, thank you for leaving us one, but next time don't get into mushrooms without asking, okay? Or if Auntie is chopping mushrooms and you want some, you can have some. He goes, okay, I sorry. Like that was almost just like, but he did leave us one because he was trying to be nice. I thought that was the cutest thing. Luckily, we did have the other package of them, so I was still able to make dinner. And I sent Issa out because she started to just yell at him for I sent Issa out to get another package of mushrooms for the next night when I was making spaghetti. But it was just I would be sitting there chopping mushrooms up for whatever I was making, and he'd be standing on the other side of the counter and just going, I have one, like, and he'd open his mouth like a little baby bird for me to pop a little piece of mushroom in there. So he got addicted to eating raw mushrooms, which I was good with. Issa thought it was gross. Talon didn't care what Issa thought. He's like, oh, that's just mom. Auntie likes it, so I'm going to eat them. Oh, Wes, you'll be okay. First I get pictures of cake. Now I'm getting pictures of brownies, which haven't come in yet, but I'm waiting for my email to give me the indication I have a new message. See, Kathy likes me better than you, Wes. Neener, neener, neener. So, Susanna teased me earlier today. She said her and Tina might pop in if Tina was up to it. But I was like, they were hysterical on Saturday. Oh my God, that was so funny. Yeah, Donna, brownies. I haven't had brownies in forever either. Oh, I finally sent? Okay. And it's funny, Wes, because she could just add your email address to the email she's sending me and we'd both get it, but she's not because that means she likes me better. Neener, neener, neener. You smell like a wiener. Yeah, definitely, Donna. Kathy gonna make me seriously hungry and create. I'm gonna end up going out there and eating that fucking chocolate cream pie if I'm looking. Oh, and the messages came through. If I'm looking at pictures of brownies and stuff, I'm gonna be like, oh, I need sugar. Oh my god. Yep, I'm gonna eat both ice creams and the chocolate cream pie. Those look so good. Even though it's sports related, it still looks good. I don't do sports. Donna, where's Kathy live? I'm going to get brownies. Oh, that would be awesome. Who is it? It was Dawn made cookies like almost like the Loft House cookies from Walmart, but they were almond cookies. They were made with almond powder or something, almond flour. They were so good. She sent me some for Easter. They were so good. I gave my son one, and he kept coming in and asking for more. I'm like, get away from my cookies. And I was able to eat them because they were nice and soft. They were absolutely delicious. Dawn's Southern Pines, who hopefully is doing okay in Louisiana. As last I knew, she still didn't have power, which sucks. Especially with the storm that's dumping rain on them right now. That's all they need, right? Papa, I like brownies too, Kathy. I can imagine, Kathy. I would have been too. All right, lunch is done. Now for his real errands. He's going to go pout in the car now because he didn't get pictures of brownies and because Kathy likes me better. You'll be okay, Wes. Besides, you got to compete with Philly Flipper anyway because he's in there trying to smell like Crayolas because she was buying up the Crayola stuff from Larry. What? What, Wes? What? So you better watch out for Paul, man. Philly Flipper? Mm-hmm. I'm not the one you got to worry about, Wes. Kathy doesn't like fibbers, TJ, so you're out. Wes, I will cut Paul. That's funny. You guys are funny. Ooh, one of my cats just hissed at the other cat. What the hell is going on in here? That doesn't mean come to mommy for saving. I'm Onyx's safety zone. Whenever Marty starts messing with her too bad, Onyx will come running to me like, help me, because she knows I don't let Marty mess with her. There's no fighting on my bed. They are not allowed to play rough or fight on my bed because I end up getting clawed up. So now whenever they start, if they come anywhere near the bed, Simmy will actually regulate the cats. She'll get up and get all grumbly, and the cats will go in two different directions. It's funny. She's back. This cat, I'm telling you. It's nice, though. It's nice to be loved, you know? Ow. It's not nice to get clawed, though. She needs to stop that. Yes, Kathy, I do. Hi, Kathy.
Hey!
What's up, groovy girl?
Hey, what's up?
Well, Wes isn't going anywhere now.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh my goodness.
Hi, my Wendy. It is getting very crowded on my bed. Cat, you need to go.
Aw, poor kitty.
The dog is now crowding me because she's right next to me, and then the cat's on me, and I'm like, I'm getting claustrophobic.
But you're loved.
I am.
Yeah, that's what matters. You're loved.
Yeah, I'm loved. They want something.
Yeah, I know. That's what animals do.
It's like whenever one of the kids would walk up to me and go, "Mom, I love you." I'm like, "What do you want?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. My cat, well, the one that, they're brothers, and one loves me and one loves my mom more. They're more of our. One cat loves me more than the other cat loves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they pick their people.
Yeah, the one cat is my cat.
Right.
And so he gets up on my bed and he'll push himself into me and hug me and all that kind of stuff with his body. But he wants food. That's
Yeah.
stupid. He wants me to get out of the bed and feed him.
Yeah.
But
I don't have their food down right now, so I think that's why she keeps coming in. But what's funny is if I put the food down, Marty will come and running in here and dominate the food bowl. And it's a double-sided dish, but Onyx won't go near it while Marty is eating. And then Marty will walk away. Onyx will go to eat. Marty will come back over and like not chase her away, but she'll stick her head in where Onyx is trying to eat. Marty is a bully, and she's very dominating. So Onyx actually has to wait until Marty like leaves the room or goes and lays down somewhere, and then she'll come eat.
Aw. Yeah, we feed one cat up on top of a chair because that's where he likes to eat, and the other one eats on the floor in his own little bowl. So if we feed them at the same time and they're both eating, they're both away from each other and they aren't trying to hog each other. Well, one cat can't have the same food as the other because he's got urinary tract issues. So he has to have a special food where the other cat doesn't. So
yeah, my mom's Persian got FUS, got feline urological syndrome. And he had to be on special food.
Yep, that's what happened to Owie. Well, their names are Scratch and Sniff, but we call them Owie and Sniffy. Obviously Scratch and Sniff is Sniffy because he sniffs flipping everything. And Owie, he likes to scratch the crap out of everybody.
Wes, you're going to miss it. You're just going to. Wes said he needs a phone cord or he will have no charge, so got to go. Well, you're going to miss Kathy.
Oh, bye, Wes.
Well, the cats have a double-sided bowl. There's, and it conveniently fits in one of those 2.5-gallon Ziploc bags, which is what I keep their food in when it's, close to me. Now I have the bin with their food in it. I just fill the bag up partway, but the bowl fits in because if I leave the bowl on the floor when I sleep, a certain 4-legged puppy dog eats it, and yeah, it's an expensive food. It's IAM's cat food because I make sure that the cats, because we did have the problem.
Yeah, that's what we feed. That's what ours eats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
it's shit. Why didn't you tell me that? I didn't realize that you needed cat food.
Oh, I don't. I have plenty of cat food.
Okay. Well, if you need it, let me know.
I will. Someone asked me about a month ago, do you need cat food? And because I was running out of cat food and it was in like an awkward point of the month. I didn't have money for it. My son doesn't own a cat, so he's like, I don't want to buy cat food. And so she's like, I'll send you. And she sent me cat litter. I have cat litter to last for months now. She sent me 2 22-pound bags of IAM's cat food.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. I'm not even halfway through the first bag and it's been a month and a half. So I have, trust me when I say I have plenty of cat food.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you need it and you don't, if you need it, just let me know.
I will. Thank you.
I'll help you.
I'm hoping that once I can get the whole craft situation set up and start selling things that I won't have to depend on.
Oh, I know. Please.
I do fully appreciate everyone who helps me. I'm so grateful. My mom.
I didn't think that you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
My mom is absolutely amazed. She goes, wow, you have some really nice friends. I'm like, yes, I do. Anybody who says you don't meet quality people online is full of crap.
Absolutely.
Because you absolutely can meet quality. It's just like meeting people anywhere. You know?
Yeah. I mean, just because we can't run into each other or meet each other for lunch or whatever, we're still friends.
Right.
I mean, you can, sometimes you can't see through the BS, but
yeah,
once you figure out that somebody's bullshitting you, then you know. But and you get burned sometimes. But
yes,
I think that yeah, for the most part, you don't. So.
Yeah. Well, I hope, and I told my mom, the same thing. I hope that not too far in the future that I'm able to be like how I was before all the financial issues and health issues, because I used to help people all the time. I mean, my mom used to complain that I just let anybody move into my house because if they got kicked out of their place to live or, boyfriend kicked them out or they, whatever, I would let them stay at my house. And, if they needed groceries, I would help them get food in their house, things like that. And my mom was always like, you're not going to have anything for yourself. I'm like, but they need it right now. And I don't,
Right.
And,
my mom's the same way though. I hear.
Yeah.
She's
So
like, don't help people to your detriment. And I'm like, but I'm not. So,
yeah. I mean, hopefully I will be in a position to be able to do for other people what they've been doing for me,
Right. I know that one day when you're able to, you'll pay it forward to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just think that we're all in this shit together. So we should all help each other out as much as we can with what we can without hurting ourselves. So
I agree. I don't ever want anybody to go without something they need in order to help me. I don't. But I am so grateful. I mean, people have been helping me for like 2 years, and I am unbelievably grateful. I mean, I'm still feel guilty. But I am so grateful that people have been so generous and that they've helped me so much. And I fully appreciate everybody,
Hey, you know what? I would hope that if something ever happened to me, that people would rally around me and help me.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not doing what I do. I don't do what I do expecting anything in return.
Right.
I would just hope that people would reciprocate at some point if I needed the help too, because you never know when it'll be you.
Yeah. Well, I think that there are kind of a few people that might help you out there, Kathy.
Well, no, I really, I mean, I don't, but
Kathy, you are such an awesome person, and so many people love you that they would be getting in each other's way trying to help you. You know this, right?
Well, I don't know that, but I just do what my mom always taught me, and God taught me. Or I know that you.
No, it's okay.
You do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Right.
You should never expect anything in return, but you do things for other people just because out of the kindness of your heart, and that's what we should do as other human beings to help each other.
I agree.
So,
I love you too, Wendy. Thank you.
Hey, Wendy.
Donna, just a few. Big smiley face.
Aw.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, hey, even if something happened and you needed help and I wasn't in a financial position to help you, trust me, I would be recruiting people from everywhere to help you.
And I know you would. I mean, you never know. That day might come. I don't know.
Well, no more popping ribs in dumpsters, and
yeah, no, that's no big deal.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap you in bubble wrap.
Ribs.
Wrap your ass in bubble wrap so you don't get hurt no more. Yeah. If we're watching a video and we hear popping, we know you need to back up.
Exactly.
So, Bobby.
Who?
Bobby.
Oh, hey, Bobby.
Love you too, Bobby. Yeah. I mean, this community, there are a few nut jobs, and there are a few people who have scammed, but the majority of the community, reseller, jewelry, dumpster diving, are so sweet, and it's amazing to me that everybody pulls together so often, and so strongly, and everybody's there for everybody. And it touches my heart. It really does. It kind of gives you a little bit of faith back in humanity,
Yes.
Donna, she popped her rib climbing in a dumpster.
Oh, yeah, climbing or leaning into a dumpster. I bent down too far over the ledge, and I popped those suckers, man. They cracked right there.
Yeah,
I heard it pop as I didn't show the video of it because a lot of my viewers would have been like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
So I didn't show it, but yeah,
that's cringeworthy right there. Oh, I felt that when I heard it.
Yeah, they really popped right there, and I was like, "Holy crap, I can't breathe."
I'm telling you, girl, you need to cut one of those pool noodles so you can put it over the edge so that you have a little bit of cushioning.
I know, but it's such a pain in the ass to put it on there when you get to the dumpster. It's like,
yeah, but is it more of a pain in the ass to have broken ribs?
Well, no, but now I know not to reach down that far.
Oh, okay. So if you don't see something that you really want to grab, you're not going to make the effort.
No, I'll climb in and do it, but
Oh, okay.
no, I mean it is. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to try to do it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been out in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
well, I've had some intimidating other intimidating divers coming after me while I'm going to the dumpsters. There's one guy in a Audi who intimidates me at the dumpsters. He will follow right behind me and pull up behind me and wait for me to get out. And I don't want the confrontation, so then I leave. So
Yeah.
I go on to the next dumpster, and there he is again, right behind me. So I
He needs to
decided
go find himself a new hobby.
Huh?
He needs to find himself a new hobby.
Well, he needs to find himself a new flipping place to dive, because
right.
And then there's another one who's in a red truck. Actually, he was in one of my videos. You couldn't see him, but you could hear him. I was at like the Staples dumpster, and I found a bunch of Christmas paper and envelopes and stuff like that you would print, like, a yearly synopsis of your life or whatever.
Right.
Mail
The
it.
holiday letters.
Okay, so I was there, and all of a sudden he was pissed off, and he started doing fucking donuts in the parking lot and squealing tires because he was pissed off that I was there. And I knew that when he was there, but I didn't let on to it in the video.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what his problem is, but that was him.
Wow.
He's another. He had a channel, but his channel hasn't gone anywhere. So anyway, he's another one that scared me away. And then there's 2 women who are in my area who decided to scare the crap out of me one night at 2:00 in the morning by screaming out my name while I was, in the dumpster and filming.
Yeah.
And with having Asperger's, that really freaked me the F out.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So I just decided I needed to take a break for a little bit.
Donna says you need backup, and she may not be able to jump in a dumpster, but she could do some guard damage.
Yeah.
Bobby wants to know if you carry mace when you dive.
I have pepper spray.
Yep.
But still, just the shock of, you're in the midst of the dumpster at 2 a.m. You're used to nobody being around and bothering you, and then all of a sudden somebody yells out, "Kathy!" It scares the fuck out of you.
Yeah. That would.
And then with me being, how I am with my my personality, I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what to do. I'm in the middle of filming. They fucked my film up.
Yeah.
I like freaked out, and she's like, "Did you get my email?" I'm like, "No." Like, I don't even know who the hell you are. She's like, "Okay, well, have a good night," and then drove away. And I cut all of that out of the video. Y'all have seen the video if you've watched my videos, but you didn't know it was there because I cut it all out. But yeah, they really seriously. I had PTSD, and I still haven't gone back to that dumpster yet.
Wow. Dana said you need to get a stun gun maybe too. Well, she said eat, and then she said get, and she said all the food talk made her put eat instead of get. Chrissy said she almost broke her ribs leaning too far a couple of months ago. Didn't feel pain until the next day. Damn, metal hurts. Yes, it does.
Yeah, especially on those ones with the side slide doors, because they've got grooves on them, and they've got like those 2 metal pieces that are grooves, so they're sharp edges in a way, even though they're blunt. You bend over it and you pop a couple of ribs between those, and you're done. And that's what happened to me. I was out for 2 months. I didn't dive.
Well, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Big B on that ride. I mean, the ride was cool. Driving around with him was cool, but I felt so bad that his dumpsters were all locked. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have to find new dumpsters.
Well, I kind, to be honest, I kind of think that he knew those dumpsters were going to be locked.
Yeah.
He was just taking us on a ride, and because he had a video out right after that, the next day or whatever, where he found a whole bunch of food and stuff.
I saw that.
That he was just trying to get us out of the norm. He doesn't want to make it the same all the time.
Yeah, well, what was messed up
And
is
huh?
that was my first time there, so there was nothing normal for me. So I was kind of like, "What are we doing?"
Right. Well, because I hadn't messaged him back because I was dealing with stuff here at home, so he didn't know if I was going to be a co-host with him or not
Yeah.
at the time. So, but then when he said that, I was like, okay, cool. I've got like an hour or whatever, and we got to see the sunrise and
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool driving around in Australia.
Western Australia and all that. But for the most part, I mean, his show, I don't know. I just love Big B. He's real.
Yeah, he does seem like a very nice guy.
He is.
You
He's
know
a very
what? We were talking about food and Domino's Pizza, and they're spamming my email now with offers. I'm like, go away! I cannot afford you. Go away. They're like, we miss you. Come back to us. And I'm like, needy.
I get those too. No, but I love. I mean, he told me, he's like, yeah, no, totally. If you want every Sunday, if you want to come on, that's cool. We'll hang out together for 3 hours or whatever it is.
That's cool.
And
Right.
so, and pick a different topic to talk about, because burnout is real. I mean, I
Yeah.
burned out, and that was real.
Yep.
I know that was not the week that you showed up, but
Yeah.
and then we talked about crap, I can't remember.
When I was there, it was
What do you
what
love about dumpster diving?
do you love about dumpster diving? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been living, been BIN, been living with Big B. And it's just a
Yeah.
letter B. Kathy, if you have his link, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat if you want.
I can't because I'm on my phone.
Hold on a minute. I'll grab it.
Sorry. Yeah, it's Been Living with Big B. His name is Brendan, and I think he's a few years older than me. He's got 6 kids. I mean, they're all out of the house except for one. And he's from New Zealand, but he lives in Australia. But he's an amazing person. He donates almost everything that he finds as well. Not that all divers need to donate everything, but
Right.
that's just, his what he's able to do, and the same thing with me. So that's what we do. But he's the most real person in the dumpster diving community that I know, and he's been following my channel before I even had a channel. He subscribed to me before I even uploaded my first video.
Nice.
So he's been with me from the very beginning.
Well, Donna found it on her own, but I did put it in the chat for anybody that wants to go check him out. And
Thanks.
Kathy
on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. It's 5 a.m. Monday morning in Australia.
Yeah.
When he's on, but it's 5 p.m. here in the East Coast when we go on. So, and he always picks a topic, and he's just, he's a super duper groovy guy.
I had fun, although half of my fun was messing with Wes.
No, I know.
But I did have fun. I mean, I was in there for about 3 hours, and
that's about how long the show lasted.
2 hours. I was in there. I hung out for about 2 hours. I went through the whole drive, and then I was hanging out when you were on, and then I was just so tired I had to crash.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I appreciate you being there. It was nice to see people from my other, I have one foot in the reselling community and one foot in the dumpster diving community, because I started in reselling, and the reselling community is what got me to where I am in the dumpster diving community. So not that I try to keep one foot in each. I enjoy both communities. So it kind of does wear me out a little bit, though, because I'm trying to keep up with both things.
I think your two worlds are about to collide.
Oh crap. No, I'm the same over there as I am over here. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might just learn a little bit more about me over there with regard to the dumpster diving part, and how much stress it is trying to keep up with videos and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And the simple fact that people that are in the dumpster diving community can relate with what you go through when you go out to dumpster dive.
Right.
Not everybody in the reselling community can relate to that, because they don't, jump in the dumpsters or have to deal with, late night, early morning issues with, like you were saying, with people that are bullying you or intimidating you.
Right.
Yeah. Bobby, she's cheating on us. She has a whole nother life. She outed herself last week on my show.
I did.
She did. And then Wes got in trouble because he hadn't told anybody, but he knew.
Yeah, because he's been going over, well, the Live Dive Lounge. I mean, everybody's welcome to come over there and hang out too. But I've been there for, well, I resisted hanging out over there just because I would normally dive on Saturday night. But since I have taken this break, I haven't been. So I've been able to go hang out over there. And yeah, I've found out a few things that don't make me happy and don't make me feel good about being over there anymore. So I might hang out in the chat on the Live Dive Lounge, but for the most part, I probably won't be going on panel anymore, even though I have in the past.
Yeah.
And I won't be promoting it on my community channel. Now, I have promoted it, both things, Big B and Live Dive Lounge on my community tab, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's sad when things like that happen, you know, but you shouldn't go anywhere that you're not comfortable or happy in, you know. And
right. When
Kathy doesn't live anywhere near Mexico.
No, I don't live anywhere near Mexico. The reason that I don't, there are some people who do know where I live. A lot of the people in the reselling community do know, but I don't advertise where I live.
And I read what Bobby put in there wrong. My words jumped out. She asked if you or Dana ever hear from James at all. Callie Picker, the one that moved to Mexico. And I read it as, do you live near him? I'm sorry, I messed that sentence up.
No, I don't communicate with James anymore.
Dana said yes. He just commented on a new video.
Yeah, James is living his own life, and I'm happy for him.
Yep. Donna said, "Oh, I was only asking to see if driving distance for brownies."
Well, I'm on the East Coast, Donna.
Hi, Irene. Donna, you're in Florida. That's a long drive from where Kathy is.
That's true.
Let's just say I'm closer to Kathy than you are, Donna, and it still would be too long of a drive for me to go just for brownies.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know,
I'm always in prayer that the people in the reselling community will not divulge to the dumpster diving community where I live, because I never intended to have a channel to begin with when I so, you know,
well,
people know where I am. But
I would go and protect you from the dumpster diving butt faces, but the most I could do is throw my leg at them, because you know.
No, I know, but I'm more worried about my ex-husband. That's who I'm worried about, because he stalks me. So that's why I don't, even though my face is the face you see right there on the avatar or whatever, I don't show my face in the videos, and I don't, I just, he's weird, and he can figure that crap out, and he can try to find me, and I don't want him to know where I'm at. So for right now, I'm not showing myself. There might be one day when I do. Which I really don't think it matters, because you know what? Honestly, people are there to watch my dumpster diving and see what I find, not to see what the hell I look like.
Right.
And honestly, I would rather them want to be there to see what I find and not what I look like. Because if you're worried about what I look like, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Dana said she was in a bad place right now. I'm sorry, Dana. I hope things get better, honey. And never stop singing, girl, because you have a gorgeous voice.
Exactly, Dana. And like I said before, we love you, Dana, for you.
Yes.
So don't ever stop being you. I know I don't always comment on everybody's stuff, but you know what? I've got the dumpster diving community and the reselling community, and I do try to watch everybody's videos in both genres or niches or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I don't
always comment on everything. So Dana, don't ever think that I don't watch all of your singing videos. I do.
I agree, TG. Kathy's dives and her generosity are absolutely amazing. You're definitely an earth angel, girl.
Aw, thanks, Scarlett. Thanks, Kodi. Thanks, y'all. You know, I'm humble. Holy moly, crap.
Well, you know, I've heard you're kind of a big deal.
I know Wes likes to put out there, hey, have you heard Kathy's kind of a big deal? And I'm like, gosh, dude, stop. I'm
Well,
really not a big deal.
it's better than what he says about the poor treasure hustlers. He goes, "Oh, they're not bad for girls."
I know, but
My poor crazy girls, man.
well, you know what? They had a really bad California. Um, they went on lockdown worse than the rest of us did.
Yeah.
And they got caught by the police, and they were, it was kind of a bad thing. So, I don't blame them. Plus, to be honest, they've said they don't like editing videos, which it does take a long time, and it takes a lot of effort to edit videos. Some people just throw shit up, and that's why they're still not doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Treasure Hustlers, I love those girls.
I do too.
Sarah.
My crazy girls.
Yeah, I mean, I was always
love them.
ready to live dive.
And the dives that I've watched them do, especially when they've done them while they're on a live, and they're like, they just get in the car and go. And we're like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we're going to a dumpster." We're like, "Yes." They're so funny.
I couldn't hit that button fast enough as soon as I saw Treasure Hustlers going live.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they've resolved to doing what they're doing now, which is great.
Yeah.
Whether they'll get back into diving or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, hey, I met them at Bearded Pickers live long time ago, long time ago.
Yeah.
And
well, I have actually hit 213 subscribers now.
Woohoo!
I'm like, wow. Yay, go me. But currently
I'm trying to get over a certain hump right now, and it's a slow going right now.
Yeah, I feel so bad for you, Kathy.
Yeah, well, no, hey, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying that really it is kind of a slow go, and I really would like to. I'm really like, oh my God, I wish I could just get there and be done with it.
Yeah. No, I understand. Any kind of milestone that you're aiming for, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, it's.
Well, it's partly my fault because I went into YouTube purgatory or jail or whatever because I missed one video. I went 2 weeks without putting out a video because I was just burned out, and I didn't feel like editing it, and I didn't feel like doing it, and I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel it. So I'm in a little bit of YouTube purgatory right now.
Well, that's why I only do lives, because I've never edited a video in my life, and I don't know how well I'll be at it. And so I do lives, and whatever happens, because the theme of the channel is expect the unexpected. So yeah,
right.
I can get away with that, but eventually I'll be doing jewelry making videos and things like that, but those are going to be live too.
Well, with dumpster diving, you're trying to put out videos that don't make people sick.
Right.
One.
The camera motion, yep.
Right, and so you're in the dumpster, and you're not always thinking about where my arm is or where my head is or whatever. Right. I can't wear a head camera or a chest camera because it hurts my skin, my flesh from fibromyalgia. So I have to use a handheld, a tripod. But it does take me like 12 hours to edit a video, a 29 or 32-minute video for everybody to watch.
Yeah, see, I'm not down for that. I'm not down for that kind of dedication. People are stuck with my lives.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like you get burned out real fast. There's other people who just throw crap up, and they run on the fact that they got one video that got 800 and something thousand views because they got caught by the cops and arrested for something other than dumpster diving, but it was at the time they were dumpster diving. So
drama sells.
Yeah. So I mean, I've never had, and I honestly don't ever want a viral video because you get more subs and less people that will watch. They sub to you, but then they don't come back and watch again, which
Right.
screws up your watch time and all that kind of stuff. So I'm happy steadily growing as I am. I'm not complaining at all. I just wish I
Yeah.
could get over this flipping hump right here.
Yeah, Donna said her old channel, she did so much editing and videos, totally different topic, and she's thinking about doing it on a new channel, but she knows it's a lot of work. And
well, if you think that
Tina
it'll
just went
go
live.
somewhere, put in the time, because it's worth it in the end. I'd be honest with you. It's really worth it.
Tina just actually went live. That's weird. I didn't know she was going. Yeah, Ma's place.
Ma?
Tina, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Normally she would just come on my channel. Maybe because I said I was going for 3 hours. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run you over.
You didn't. I'm actually at the 3 hour mark now.
Oh.
So, but since she did go live, I'm gonna end this now.
Okay.
People can pop over to Tina's channel and check that out. Let me grab the link for it, and I will pop that in so everybody has a direct line. And if I can find it, where'd it go?
Yeah, they are great, Scarlett. But they don't have to edit very much because they just put all the crap in there.
All right.
But I'm like Steven stuff. I'm one of their number one fans. I'm always over there commenting, and it's not to get other people to come to my channel at all. I never say anything about having a channel over there. I just comment because I've been watching them for 3 years. So.
All right. Well, I thank everybody for coming in my live. Kathy, thank you for coming on my panel and teasing
Thanks for
us.
having me.
That was awesome. I love having you up here. And I did post the link for Tina's Live, which is going on now. So
okay, we'll head over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there and say hi, and then I'm gonna go feed the dog and things like that. So
bye, y'all.
I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my live. We'll see you Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. Bye, all.